today with the series against the Royals. First pitch tonight is at 6:45, not 6:40. A reminder, this TV broadcast is on Apple TV. You can always find the pregame show and play-by-play, though, for every Mariners game right here on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. The Knicks made NBA history last night, getting out to a 47-point halftime lead over the Atlanta Hawks, most ever in an NBA playoff game. Final score 140-89. The Knicks advance to face the winner of Celtics 76ers.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Rookie camp technically kicked off yesterday, continues through the weekend. We're going to get a chance to talk with Bud Clark coming up a bit later today, which is exciting. We already had a chance to talk to his defensive coordinator. I wanted to find what's up with Bud and the Eagles. Bud apparently obsessed with seeing the Eagles here. I need to know, like, were they really, really close? Was it awe-inspiring? What was going on with the Eagles? We have more important questions to ask Bud, of course, as he gets ready to familiarize himself with this defense for the first time. And, Bump, I wanted to start with the Seahawks here for a reason. The Seahawks, yesterday, I read you that draft grade where Austin Mock of The Athletic gave them an F. Overwhelmingly, I would say people are fine with the Seahawks draft. It's not like 2012 where they were, like, widely panned. But they did receive some poor grades, one of them being an F, and a big part of that was about positional value. So yesterday was about saying, like, hey, here's why the pick made sense for Seattle, and, like, we don't agree with you, Austin, shame on you. Today is really about re-examining positional value, safeties being undervalued, running backs being undervalued, guards being undervalued, and why Seattle, surprisingly, kind of bucking those trends. So, I'm going to start by going to this cut. It's going to be cut number 1, Ravens GM Eric DeCosta, and he's talking about the evolving importance of guard play in the NFL. Take a listen.
Yeah, I think the discussion is now, like, offensive line are really valuable.
Yeah.
Right? You've seen the guard market trying to catch up to the tackle market. You've seen the center market this year finally make a big jump. Teams are paying money for guards. I think there's a scarcity of really good offensive linemen, so that drives the market up, especially, I think, if they can pass protect. If they're really good pass protectors, I think then that argument probably gets thrown out because it's a passing league, and most of the premium positions have kind of a symbiosis with the passing game. I do believe, looking at how things have transpired over the last few years, that the old argument that tackles were way more important than guards and guards were way more important than centers has kind of morphed into, you know what, they're all pretty important, and we got to be as strong as we can up front or we have no chance.
I love his accent. So this is where we're starting the show, Bump. Ironically, 2-3 seasons after John Schneider infamously said guards are overdrafted and overvalued, it feels like Seattle's changing that approach. Took a guard at 18 overall, traded up to get Bo Stevens, who you really like. And they took a running back in the first round, took a safety with their second pick. Like, these are typically positions that are kind of undervalued, just seen as not, right? They're not wide receiver. Yeah. It's not a high-end left tackle. But the Seahawks are putting a lot of value in these undervalued positions because it makes sense for them.
It's funny to me because we talk about where do you win football games, and we always talk about the trenches. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't everyone in the trench be valued?
Except for the people closest to the ball.
Like, it doesn't make sense to me. And I think that it's just, like everything else in football, it's a trend in a wave. I get why you look at the tackles initially because of who they have to block. You're going up against edge rushers, these 6'4", 250, 260 guys, to me the most athletic guys on the football field. But you also have to take care of the interior. I never really liked the conversation of guards aren't as valuable as your tackles. What if you play in a gap scheme type of offense where your guard has to block down and wrap around and pull and kick out and do all that good stuff? There is great value in having a guard who can move. There's great value in having a center who is smart. So, though I understood why it started with the tackles being valued the most because of who they're going up against, I never really bought into guards aren't as valuable or you don't need to draft these guys high. If you don't have a guard and you have a one tech that you're going up against, the guy between the center and the guard, you typically are going to combo block that guy. Your center and your guard are going to take care of it when it comes to run game and some pass pro, depending on how they're aligned. That guy can mess with the rhythm of everything. That one tech, Byron Murphy, you don't block him. You don't have a guy who can get him. He can mess with the rhythm of everything that you're trying to do. So I think the Hawks have been put in a position where they needed to draft a guard, and they went that way and went up against what they believed in because of what they needed here in this building. It's a conversation I think at many positions is going to evolve. There's always going to be a change in how you value guys because of the way the game changes itself. Personnel changes the way you look at positions and how you value them, and schematics, the way guys are calling plays offensively and defensively.
Can I ask a question that isn't meant to be like a dumb one? How did we get to valuing running backs, safeties, and guards less? How did we get there?
I think we're running backs because their shelf life is just slow.
Sure.
I think if we're playing in 1970, imagine they're pumping out the money they're pumping out now in 1970. And when you're running the football a bunch, I think running backs will be the most valued position on the football field offensively other than the quarterback. It's just shelf life. As far as safeties, I don't know. Because that's the last line of defense. He can play in the box. He can cover tight ends, slots if he has to. You ask a lot of your safety. Your safety is low-key the tight end of the defense. He has to play on all three levels at times, and we have safeties that do that. I don't know why safeties have been devalued like that, but I feel like it's coming back around because you're asking your safeties. I mean, you look at J. Love and Kobe Bryant, call Nick and MRI whatever you want to, nickel safety, whatever the heck. Those guys got to play on all three levels. So I feel like as the game evolves, as the player evolves, safeties might jump up when it comes to pay.
Fitting that you say the tight end of the defense, because tight end's another one of those positions that are typically undervalued. I mean, we've seen whole contract disputes over guys. This stems all the way back to Jimmy Graham in 2013-14-ish, having an issue with the Saints being franchise tagged as a tight end, trying to prove no, I'm used as a wide receiver. You're trying to pay me millions less. This is a decades, plural, old issue here. But tight ends also typically undervalued. Now, I get that the shelf life sometimes for these players is a little bit lower. I get that it is harder to find a premier all-pro left tackle than it is, per se, to find a center, right? Just body type differences there. But I don't know. I think sometimes, the discourse, I'm using that with heavy quotes, that we have around these positions don't matter, this is an overdraft, has gotten a little bit out of hand when we're talking about a team that won a Super Bowl, clearly valuing these positions. And not only that, look, you hear the Ravens GM saying, guard play is becoming really important because we need to value pass pro. It's not just about guards. It's about well, what does this person provide my team? Not a coincidence, I don't think, that in cut 2, you hear John Schneider saying he feels like they're philosophically in line with the Ravens. Take a listen.
I don't know if it's a grading system, but the Ravens have always drafted similar. We've always had, they're we've heard from them, they've heard from us, we're going to take, Rashad Penny and you guys took him or whatever. We're back, similar, back and forth with that. Where it is right now, Jason Light's a close friend of mine, general manager for Tampa Bay. Been doing it a long time. And there's a bunch of guys that they're just, George Payton in Denver, known forever. Oh, shoot, I'm missing people now that you asked. But there's guys that, you're kind of dang, I don't want to talk to you before the draft because I don't want to lie to you,
Right.
And I don't lie. I just don't tell the.
Just don't tell them anything.
Lies of omission.
Yeah, there you go. Lies of omission.
Great John Schneider show.
Yeah.
But just pointing to these really successful organizations who have kept really competitive teams for a long time, they're ever evolving these philosophies, right? Things that they might have thought even 5 years ago, I'm sure they've started to challenge themselves on. So why don't we, as people covering the sport, watching the sport from the outside, I'm speaking more about myself than guys who have actually played like you, why don't we update those philosophies?
You should. You have to change with the game. If you even just look at the way an offense is called in today's game as opposed to when I was coming up. It's just different. And the reason why the game changes because you're always trying to get an edge on the ops, right? Offense trying to get an edge on the defense trying to get an edge on offense or responding to what the offense is doing. So with that back and forth, the game's going to change. So you have to change your mindset. And I think that we've seen that. I bet you if, like the clip, you mentioned that John saying that guards have been overdrafted, right? What was that, like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, about 3.
I bet you he wouldn't say that now.
No.
I bet you. Why? Because the way that he sees the game has changed. You got to be strong in your beliefs and how you approach things. But I think that because the athletes change, the coordinators' minds change, the rules change, how guys call games and stuff, you have to be able to adjust. And I think that's what we do in all sports, right? Coach, what adjustments are you going to make? Coach is running off the field. Hey, coach, your run game's not going. What adjustments do you have to make? That's all sports is adjusting to your circumstances and your personnel. Mm-hmm. And with adjusting to that, I think your philosophy changes a bit, and I think we saw that with John.
You know what I think part of it is, too? I'm just thinking of this theory right now. Walk with me. I think part of it is, like, there's a market reality, and then there's a football reality. Mm-hmm. And if you did not play, and I think this is real, and it's not meant to be an insult to people who didn't play like myself, sometimes the football reality you ignore. So you just go, well, GMs don't pay running backs a ton. Running backs get hurt.
Yeah.
Market reality, running backs sometimes don't give you a lot of bang for your buck. Football reality, great running back is vital. You know what I'm saying? Like market reality, you can pay a tight end less than a wide receiver and use them like one. Look at George Kittle, whoever else. Football reality, George Kittle's central to what San Francisco has done.
It's almost like giving the Hawks an F grade off of math. You know what I mean? Like there was no football done in that grade. It was all math. And if that's the way you choose to look at it, then okay, that's the way you choose to look at it. But there are moving parts on a football field. And I like that. I think that if you haven't played, that's a good place to start.
Sure.
Because you're looking at the trends of what's going on in the league. Those aren't lies. This is what the league does.
Those are decisions, real decisions.
But then there are always exceptions to stuff too, right? Like when never forget, man, Christian Kirk, like he blew this game up when it comes to receivers getting paid. Somebody looked at him and said, forget what the market is saying. He brings something to the team that I want, that I'm willing to pay for, and that ruffles things.
Sure.
There's going to be, and what's hard at running back, going back to running back, what's hard is that for running backs to really get that jump, there's got to be like 3 Saquon Barkleys in this league putting up those numbers. And it's just so hard to do. Unfortunately, I don't see the running back market value going up unless you get more guys like Love who got drafted who are great out the backfield, right? So running back is tricky because they're going to touch the ball 300 times.
Yep.
Everyone's trying to kill you. And the body just breaks down eventually. Yeah, it's a matter of when, not if.
And that's a market reality. A football reality is you're not going to find a ton of Super Bowl winning teams that have horrific run games or horrific run blocking or who aren't dynamic offensively, right? The Seahawks defense was clearly like the strength and central to their identity. Ken Walker put up over 300 yards in 3 playoff games.
Yeah.
That's the reality of what they did. And so when you hear someone like John Schneider say, and I critiqued him for this, And again, like you, I don't think that he purely believes it just this way now. A GM recognizing, I can find a better value here. Like I can find a running back and try to add some value is not a GM thinking running backs don't matter.
No.
But the problem is people just kind of run with the take.
Yeah. That's a GM using or
finding value,
bringing into the situation something called a salary cap. You know what I mean? Like there are things that affect GM's decisions. It's personnel, obviously. It's needs of your team, what is around your quarterback, and then money. How much money do we have? In how many draft picks do we have? There are so many things that factor into it. But at the end of the day, I think it's all about adjusting. And the Hawks, the Eagles, the Rams have been the best over the past 5 seasons at adjusting.
This is kind of what you said about Nick Emanwari a little bit, that a listener, the 253 says, I think the Hawks are looking beyond just the position that someone plays. They're picking players that are physically unique, gifted, a skill set that separates them from the pack. And I'll add something that adds something to your scheme, right? If Nick Imanwari, if you're viewing him as like, oh, he's a safety, more importantly, he can look like he's rushing the passer or dropping into coverage, and he makes disguises incredibly difficult, right? Like it's about what you can do with that player that makes it really dynamic. I don't know. I find this conversation interesting. I know that we're starting with like a super philosophical kind of Friday instead of like a newsy Friday and a fun Friday, and I get it. But I think it was just a cool piece of sound to hear a current GM, again, this was Eric DaCosta, saying like, hey, we're reevaluating the way that we look at guards. And I know that that's not fascinating to every single person. To me, to Bump, it's incredibly interesting to hear people in charge of making really impactful decisions in the NFL saying, we kind of changed our mind about certain things. We're realizing that we're valuing traits and qualities as opposed to just limiting someone to a position. That's interesting.
Someone says you taking a swing at John. No one's taking a swing at John.
Who's taking a swing
We're
at
actually praising him for adjusting and doing what is necessary for this team to be successful, for going out and getting the obvious and getting a guard at 18, for going out and doing the obvious and getting a running back at 32. So, no, it's not a swing at John. If anything, I just said John's one of the top 3 GMs in the game. According to last year, the best GM in the game.
I think John would admit that even if the context that he was talking about that was about another team overpaying a guard, even if the context was that, the big picture looked bad. And I think John would admit that. You had an offensive line that pretty routinely ranked in the top bottom in terms of, run protection, pass protection, whatever. And then you were talking about, like, I think guards are overpaid. Even if what he was saying about one particular guard was fair, that's why it was so controversial. And I think John would admit that now. And to be fair, you had not seen John use high draft picks on interior linemen until he did it with Zabel. So that's also something that was a real trend that John and many other GMs had followed.
Who says you can't teach an old dog new tricks, huh?
Yeah. Not that old. I don't think he'd like.
Older than me,
that.
so I'm old. Older than me.
I'd argue older than a lot of people. I hope he's listening. Don't be mad at me. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline rewrites.
Must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Mariners are opening a series against the Royals tonight on Apple TV+. What's the real headline?
Matt's birthday present will be a text from Wyman asking where the game is.
Matt, where you at, dog?
Matt, this
He's
is
producing
crazy.
Wyman and Bob today.
No, he's making
that's
excuses.
Bull. That's bull. He should be here with his family, okay?
He chose
If you
not
want to be
hang out
mad
with
at
us.
anybody, be mad at Salk, because Lefko had to fill in for Salk. And then
Shame on Mike
Matt
Salk.
is having to fill in for Lefko on the afternoon show.
And now we've got Michael. Michael, say hi. He said hi.
Michael's still learning how to work the board.
Hello.
So-
I
There we
turned
go.
on the wrong
There
mic.
we go.
There you go. Don't be nervous, Michael.
It's okay, Michael.
It's okay. We got you.
Michael, we just know that we'll probably call you Matt multiple times today.
Yeah, I'm
Might
doing a
even
Matt
yell at you.
impersonation today. That's fine.
Thank you so much. Make sure to be really upset that it's your birthday today, because that would be a peak Matt impersonation.
Okay,
What-
he's around the corner, so I'll go get notes from him too.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, The Athletic reports Russell Wilson is also in advanced talks with CBS about replacing Matt Ryan on their studio crew. What's the real headline?
I would also rather retire than play for the Jets. Your options are this or back up Geno in New York.
You know what? I think Russell would be good on TV.
I do too.
I think he would.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be prepared. And I think his opinions might be a bit stronger now that he's not the head of an organization or a quarterback. He'd be able to maybe say some things that he normally wouldn't. I think we might see a bit more personality from Russell Wilson rather than this cookie cutter, you know what I'm going to say type of stuff. No, I think he'll be good. And you're not beating up your body, even though you would be a backup quarterback with the Jets, but chances are you're going to see some playing time because we know what happens over there. No, this is good for Russ. If he does not go to New York and play for the Jets or anyone else, I think he'd be good on TV.
I know that there are a lot of people that don't like Russ, and I'm not going to begrudge them for that because I can totally understand he's not exceptionally personable. had an ego a lot of people didn't like. I get it. But can I say something?
Sure.
I covered Russ started out obviously as a reporter, so I had only ever seen the version of Russ that we all see in press conferences. And one time, Jake and I were pre-taping an interview with Russ, so it's not like Russ walked over and joined us. We're live on air, you're in Russ mode. Like, he walked over and we had like 3 or 4 minutes of we're not on air, no mics are on. And obviously he's cool with Jake. That version of Russ that I saw, and I've never forgotten this, I don't know that a ton of people see, he was really sarcastic and was him and Jake were making fun of each other, and I was like, whoa. What is this?
He's a real person.
So I wonder if the media version of Russ, if he leans into that, I think he has it in him. If he leans into that, I think he's way more likable to people than the PR version of Russ.
For sure.
I think he should. You know how A-Rod became way more likable to people after his career? I think there are just certain guys that people like more when they kind of let one layer of the onion peel away.
About 2.
Even 2. Sometimes 3. Sometimes I take several layers of the onion off because you have the dry outside layer. And then sometimes you have the layer where you're like, people at the store were picking this up.
Exactly.
I think Russ should let 3 or 4 layers
Now it's
down.
3 or 4. You went from 1 to 3 or 4.
There's a lot of layers to onions. A lot of layers. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3. This one was over basically at tip-off. The Knicks dominating the Hawks 140-89. They advanced to the second round of the NBA playoffs. And also, they set an NBA record for the highest halftime lead in a playoff game. They were up 47 at the break. What's the real headline?
All it took was sacrificing the Mets season. It was worth it, I think. You have an incredibly expensive bad Mets team, but you got a Knicks team that just dominated. Basically back-to-back against the Hawks.
Everybody on the Knicks roster scored last night. Everybody played. Everybody scored. I mean, the guy, what's his name? Let's pick a guy. Jose Alvarado.
40 points.
He scored. It was a family affair last night. Here's the thing about the Knicks. It's the basketball mecca of the world. And they ain't won a championship since the 60s, Curtis?
Early 70s, like 73, I think, yeah.
Man, I remember 99, they were hot with LJ and Sprewell and Allen Houston going up against the Spurs or whatnot, I believe it was. I don't think they're going to get it done this year, but it feels like the Knicks could be moving in the right direction.
I believe one crazy stat from last night, Jonathan Kuminga for the Hawks set an NBA record for the lowest plus-minus with the fewest minutes played. He played 23 minutes, so basically a quarter and a half, and was a minus 44.
44. Goodness gracious.
He didn't play defense at all last night.
Nah.
I saw so I started watching and then stopped, understandably, tuned back in, let's see, just before the half and then after. Am I reading this right that the Knicks got to 100 before the Hawks got to 50?
Yeah.
God.
It was so out of control that Karl Anthony Towns only attempted 4 field goals last night. He didn't even need to play.
They almost called the cops.
Yeah.
It was so out of control that they were almost like, this is a problem. They're beating this team up.
You know what's wild? When the Lakers beat the Celtics in the finals with Kobe, the final score was like 80-something to 70-something. These dudes are putting up 140 points like it's nothing. This looks like an all-star game box score. This is ridiculous. But yeah, go New York, go New York, go. You will not win a championship though. Bars.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up, we have talked a lot about Jadarian Price, who had a press conference yesterday, and about Bud Clark, who we're interviewing later today, the first 2 picks for Seattle in this class. We have not talked enough about some of the other rookies that have a chance to make an impact on this team. That's next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
They needed a cornerback. We talked about that going into the draft. They drafted 3 of them. Bud Clark, he told us, hey, I can play nickel, I can play corner, I can play safety. The same thing with Julian Neal, too. I mean, he's 6'2", 200. As far as giving out a grade, I don't know. What would you say? B+?
If you're going on addressing needs, I'd give him an A.
Yeah.
Now, are these guys all going to pan out? No. I hope those top 3 picks are going to be impact guys.
Only on Seattle Sports.
Visit America's Car Museum now, where history roars to life. If you loved Ford versus Ferrari, see Shelby Cobras and GT40s in the birth of the American supercar. Cruise-ins, drive-ins, race simulators, fun for all ages. Plan today at americascarmuseum.org.
I really want to have the most amazing customer experience. I want people to be excited.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice.
DayandNight.net.
This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
DayandNight.net.
Are you interested in investing in real estate in the greater Seattle market, but don't want to manage properties, develop real estate, or sign on debt? Hi, it's Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital, based in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 15 years. We've had 0 investor losses and have averaged double-digit returns since inception. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million in our Legacy family of funds. Legacy Northwest Fund returned over 12% in both 2007 and 2008. Are you looking at diversification opportunities, especially with what's happening in the market this year? Get in touch with us today. Legacy's family of funds has a limited opening for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or legacyg.com. That's legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investment performance based on average return of LOF1, LOF2, and LSF from 2007 through the date of calculation and after deduction of fees and expenses. Legacy family of funds investments are available to accredited investors only.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Did you know that most people wait 6 or 7 years before they buy a new TV? That's a lot of time in front of one TV. So why not get one of the best sets for the next 7 years, like one of the top-rated Samsung, LG, or Sony models? Too expensive? What if you could get up to $1,000 trade-in for your old set? Who would do a stupid deal like this? Right now, at Video Only, you can get big bucks for your old set as a trade-in and a hot price on the new models. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, $6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
Get a $15 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you buy 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First, or PCF Construction Group. And if you've been dreaming of that new deck, you got to get a hold of PCF. Call them before the great weather arrives and their schedule gets totally filled up. With a new deck, patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy the outdoors year-round no matter what the weather brings. And for a limited time, how about this? Get 50% off demolition costs up to $5,000 when you book your project with PCF. Contact People Come First Construction Group for all the details. They designed and built our outdoor living space, and we love it. Start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, and construction can take a little time, so get started today. Get project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and look at all the offer details at pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. With People Come First.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
So believe it or not, the Seahawks managed to turn 4 draft picks into 8 players. And the reason I say believe it or not is shame on me. I haven't spent nearly enough time talking about 6 of these guys. I have understandably asked you a ton of questions about Jadarian Price. I have understandably asked a lot about Bud Clark, who we're talking to later today. Julian Neal has also been someone we've talked about. Those are the first 3 players selected by Seattle. We got a couple corners. We got a wide receiver. We have a guard. We have some other guys we haven't talked about nearly enough who could especially have a cool impact on special teams. We praised special teams so much last year. So the entire point of this segment, Bump, is to look at the Seahawks rookies we are not talking about nearly enough. And I'm going to start with a very general. Of everyone chosen, I'll say beyond Julian Neal, who to you was one that you were most intrigued by?
All of them, one, but bear down, Michael Dansby, I really like. All right.
That's right.
I was waiting for it.
Their last pick, and watch the film, of course. 5'11", 185, started at San Jose State, went to Arizona, had 4 interceptions last year, 7 career. Really good with his hands on the reroute. So reroute is essentially in the middle of our route as a receiver. A good DB is going to do something to challenge our technique. All right, I'm going to sit at what I think your depth is if you're running a route. I'm going to get hands on you. I'm going to have inside leverage on you. I'm going to adjust to your stem. And he does just a really good job of that. And he looks real comfortable doing it. And he plays through the receiver. Playing through the receiver means, say a wideout is running a curl, 12 to 14 yards, you go back to the quarterback. He sees ball, and he attacks the ball, but he goes through the body of the receiver as well. So he's pretty much making sure that if I don't get this football, this catch is still going to be tough on the receiver because I'm playing through his body. Also, I like his cover 3 technique when his rear end is to the sideline, eyes are inside looking in, has a good shuffle. That's something I'm seeing more of. I don't know if guys are being coached that way, but back in my day, you started off with a back pedal, then you got into that shuffle, then you turn and run. I see a lot of guys now are playing from depth, and they're starting with that shuffle before the turn and run, and it allows them to see the combos and see the quarterback and see how the play is developing more. And I like it, man. He seems real comfortable out there. Michael Dansby out of Arizona.
There was also another corner I wanted to ask you about, Andre Fuller. Curtis, can you play me, please, Andre Fuller's draft call from Seattle?
Hey, Andre, congrats, bud. Andre, you there?
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, you got him,
yes,
brother.
Sir.
Got a little hairy there for a second, didn't it? You all right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. Well, you got home now, buddy, so we'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you, Coach.
There are 2 things I love about this draft call, Bump. One is Mike McDonald dealing with any emotion, which is, okay, here, I'm going to give you the phone to Carl Scott. And the second thing I love is that I am a sucker for emotional draft calls.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if it's Seattle. I comb Twitter and YouTube after the draft. It doesn't matter if it's the Ravens, if it's the Commanders, no matter who it is. I'm looking for draft calls where people are crying because I am such a sucker for that. And so obviously I watched Andre's draft call and I got a little teary-eyed and I thought, like, that must feel amazing. And there's a point at the very beginning of the call where you can hear him talking to whoever he's with and he just says, I just got drafted. And this is someone who clearly was like, this isn't going to happen for me.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about Andre and just kind of your expectation for him, what he's competing, who he's competing with, what kind of role he's competing for here in Seattle.
Andre Fuller out of Toledo, 6'2", 202 pounds. He's one of these old college players. 6 years he's played in college. He's a physical DB, long arms and late hands. And when I say late hands, it's I talked about Michael Dansby and how he's good with the reroute. It looks like Fuller's a bit more patient when trying to get his hands on the player. And then he's always looking to rip the football out too. It says at the Shrine Bowl, he recorded a 20.52 miles per hour GPS. So my guy is moving. He's good when it comes to run support. That's something that you need on the edge, especially when you're playing these teams that are running the outside zone. Our goal as an offense, we want to make DBs tacklers. They're not paid to tackle, right? The linebackers, the safeties, the D linemen, we want to make those guys tacklers. So sometimes if we run like an outside zone, we'll do something called a push crack. Or you have a receiver on the outside, one-on-one with a corner, and instead of going to block the corner, you run towards him, you push him, and then you go and crack the safety, leaving the DB by himself to have to make this play. We're trying to make him try to make that play. He has no problem doing that. It doesn't bother him at all. He's good against the run. I think that he's going to come in and be a special teams guy. That's where most of these guys, when you get into the 5th, 6th, and 7th round, most of these guys have to contribute on special teams to make the team. And you can see him doing that just because of the physicality. Another physical receiver. I don't think Dansby is as physical as Fuller. He will play through the football, like I said, or play through the player. But Fuller and Neal are the two corners I feel like really bring the physicality to this team.
Tell me about this wide receiver they took.
Emmanuel Henderson.
Yeah.
So he transferred from Bama to Kansas. First off, if you're at Bama, you can play. All right, we know this. 3 years at
that's
Bama.
Facts.
Yeah. 1 year at Kansas, 45 receptions, 766 yards, and 5 touchdowns. First, I looked at him as a receiver because obviously that's his position. But knowing that these guys picked him up because he's really good on special teams. He's a good gunner. He also has a return for a touchdown, 455 yards and 1 touchdown last year when it comes to punt returns. He reminds me of Horton when it comes to just his build and the way that he runs his routes, right? He's a slimmer type of dude. But he's a guy that you have to follow the Jake Bobo template when it comes to this. Jake Bobo made this team because he gets minimal targets. Most of the time, it's a catch, right? Big catch in the conference championship game last year. Mm-hmm. But he broke the narrative that wideouts aren't tacklers on special teams. You got to be able to get out there and do that. That's what Emmanuel brings to the table. So, again, another guy who's going to have to make an impact on special teams. But as a receiver, when you get your 4 plays with the ones at practice, you better do the right thing. If you don't do the right thing, they're not going to trust you. They're going to move you down the depth chart even more and bring someone to compete with you. But his impact is going to be as a gunner and maybe as a returner. We know we have returners already. You got Rashid, you got Horton. But during preseason, he's got to pop and punt returns. He's good going across the middle in the red zone. I think there were several footballs where he's running slants and posts. He goes up and gets it. He's comfortable high point in the football. But his impact is going to be initially at the gunner spot.
Whether it's one of these corners, whether it's, wide receiver or even they don't have one, but let's say like a young undrafted linebacker, whoever. When you're talking about guys competing on special teams, what are the most important things they can prove? What is it that, you've been there. You've been competing on special teams in an NFL camp. What are the things, and I know it varies by position, but what are the most important traits that they can show that they have?
Man, playing that gunner and playing special teams is all about want to. Right? You have to want it. Gunner, it's almost unfair. You're going to have 2 guys over there blocking you. All right? You can run out of bounds. So you run out of bounds, but you got to get back in quickly. It's effort. And then knowing how to miss. right? If you're a gunner or you're an R1, R2, you're on the outside, your job is to force everything inside. If you miss, you take a big swing, but you force everything inside to where your help is. So it's understanding where your help is and just showing that you have that tenacity to get off of double teams and just be relentless. They're going to be pulling you, grabbing you. It is like one of the rawest forms of football out there is being on the outside as a gunner and having two guys trying to jam you up.
All right, switching things up here. Can I be honest with you and Curtis about something, if you wouldn't mind me saying?
Of course.
Please do.
I've been really trying to work on my body language. I have an unfortunate habit of rolling my eyes, and I need to be better about not rolling my eyes all the time when people say things I find that are dumb. And so in general, I'm trying to be better about that, no extended sighs of just like, but I don't want to do that here.
Okay.
What I want to do in our next segment is let all of us in a safe space, including listeners, vent about the sports take that we are sick and tired of. I'm going to be rolling my eyes at talking about the take that I'm sick and tired of hearing. You can text yours in 866-979-3776. That's next.
For the best insider analysis,
Bumpus and Wyman, the floor is yours. This is who you wanted.
Yeah, this is the guy I wanted.
Lock in at SeattleSports.com.
The Seattle Seahawks select Jadarian Price.
There it is.
Notre Dame.
The home run picks.
He kind of stood alone. Great player.
And what's next as John Schneider, Mike McDonald, and the Seahawks put together the crew that'll defend the Lombardi Trophy.
They don't draft for need. They draft the best available players.
It's only at SeattleSports.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and I can see clearly now. It's amazing. Let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for Refractive Lens Exchange, or RLE. Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, contacts, readers, or cataracts. So if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the capper. You're never going to develop a cataract. I'm somebody that needed readers in every room of the house. I needed to see the scoreboard out at ball games. I just couldn't see clearly. That has all changed thanks to RLE. Whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to point you in the right direction. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Hey, what's up, Bump here? When I see daylight savings time on the calendar, I think of one thing. It is finally golf season. And if you're like me, more daylight means more time on the links. I know a lot of you guys listening are counting down the work week until your tee time this weekend. I am too, and I have a course for you to try. Loomis Trails. It's in Blaine. It's a hidden gem, ranked top 15 in the state by Golf Digest. It's challenging, it's fun, and it's worth the trip. While you're there, make a weekend out of it instead. Silver Reef Casino Resort. Unwind in the deluxe room. Grab a bite in one of their many restaurants. I prefer Steakhouse and the Cantina. There's wall-to-wall sports where you can watch every single game and have fun doing it, man. It's going to be great over there at Silver Reef Casino Resort. It's up I-5, exit 260, deluxe rooms. They got golf. They got giveaways, TVs everywhere. If you've been there, you know what you're missing. If you haven't been there, make sure you get up there this weekend. Book your stay at silverreefcasino.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. At Big Trees, you don't have to shop alone. Certified arborists are available to help you choose the right trees for your yard. Plus, each tree Big Trees installs offers a 1-year warranty and a free aftercare visit from our board-certified arborists. Come visit the nursery, no appointment necessary, and see our wide selection of species. You'll find the perfect fit for your landscape needs at Big Trees in Snohomish, or visit us online at bigtreesupply.com.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
And we're back. The big headline today. Your Washington Credit Union, WSECU, has done it again.
5 straight years as Forbes' best in-state credit union. That's a dynasty, Rick, like 5 straight championship rings.
Or 5 seasons hitting 400, Steve.
Holy catfish! If you want a team that wins year after year, join your Washington Credit Union, WSECU. Details at WSECU.org.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I love this as a fun Friday segment. I am sick and tired of hearing people say, what? A sports take you're so sick of. And what I love about this is I guarantee you that not only am I going to say something where a listener's like, no, that's my opinion, I actually really believe that, but I'm going to see someone text in something where I'm like, wait, what's wrong with that? It's great. I love this segment. A take that you're just kind of tired of hearing. You want to issue a citation. Write up a quick ticket, a red card, if you will, for just this take where you're like, look, I'm sorry, I have to call this out because I'm issuing a warning that I'm getting pretty sick of this take. What's yours?
Mine is Bronny doesn't deserve to be in the league. All right, listen. Are there better basketball players than Bronny? Most definitely. Okay? But there are Nepo babies all across this world. We look at entertainment, we look at sports, we look at politics, anything, corporations. There are Nepo babies everywhere. And as a parent, it's your job or your responsibility to try your best to set your kids up for success. That's what every good parent is trying to do. Do you bat 1,000? No, but you try your best. Bronny's dad is one of the top 3, in my opinion, basketball players of all time.
All time, Craig.
Right? He can almost walk anywhere, and someone's going to recognize him. So when they did draft Bronny, I said if he wasn't LeBron's son, he'd probably not get drafted. But it is what it is. There are some people I go online and they're still talking about somebody. It's his second year. It's a wrap. We need to move on from this. He's going to be in the NBA for at least 8 to 10 years, right? He's LeBron James' son. So I'm just tired of hearing it. You know, the Lakers, we're not a threat to win a championship. Why are you focusing on us so much? We're trying to get out the first round. We might lose tonight and go to Game 7 and be the first team in NBA history to lose an 0-3 lead. And then because of Bronny.
Yeah.
All right, and one more player is not going to make the Lakers. No, one player would. His name is Luka Doncic, but he's injured, okay?
Sure.
But, yeah, I'm tired of that take.
Do you think part of it is a little bit of a misunderstanding by people who aren't, like, actual basketball fans, that the pick that you're making that late in the second round could be interchangeable with a number of dudes?
Yes. That pick is like a 7th-round pick in the NFL draft.
Where it's like, sure, he got it because he's LeBron's son, and that's kind of laughable. Like, I get it. Is he that much better or worse than the next guy that would have gotten it? No.
It's fine. It's okay. Bronny's going to be okay. He'll average 10 points in his career, and we'll move on.
Derek in Seattle has a good one, that any team or player who isn't the absolute best just sucks.
Yes.
That there's no
That's
gray
your take.
area
You
in
said that a
sports.
lot.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Derek. That's one of my big pet peeves, is just kind of the idea that, like, if you are not the very best at something, you're average. That there's no middle ground. There is no A-, B+ student. There is no gray area in sports whatsoever. And what's the thing is, the vast majority of athletes, regardless of league, live in that world. The vast majority of athletes are not all pros and all stars and pro bowlers. They're just dudes making it happen who are better than 99.9% of people at their job. Curtis, what's yours?
I've got a couple, and it kind of piggybacks off of that one where, if like your favorite team or somebody's favorite team doesn't win a championship, or favorite player doesn't win a championship, they're not considered like an all-time great or whatever. It's like, you can still be considered an all-time great and not have a ring. Like, I think Luka Doncic is on his way to being an all-time great in the NBA, maybe a top 25 player in history, doesn't have a ring yet. Will he ever get one? Who's to say? But, like, he's got skills that are otherworldly. Like, you're going to say James Harden's not an all-time great in the NBA, Russell Westbrook, like, those guys have really, transformed the game over the last 20 years or so. Also, one of my least favorite things this time of year is sort of the hemming and hawing of, will rookies sign their deal or not? Of course they're going to sign their deal.
Yeah,
they're not going to give up the opportunity to play in football, something they've worked their entire lives for. Like, yeah, there's the occasional Shamar Stewart holdout into camp or holdout into the regular season, but, like, it's not going to go beyond a couple of weeks. They're not going to give up the opportunity that they've worked their entire lives for over some contract language.
Yeah.
Also, I don't like it when you see, like, this is the most guaranteed money ever for a second-round pick. It's like, okay, that means, like, nothing. Like, that's just, like, Schefter and Ian Rappaport just kind of, like, patting those agents on the back for giving them the scoop. Like, look how good I am for my client. It doesn't really matter. Like, that matters nothing to me.
Some from the text line, Tyler in Tacoma. I'm so sick and so tired of Jalen Hurts hit pieces. Either the man's incredible or he's stupid. He can't possibly run an NFL playbook. Guess what? He's been to 2 Super Bowls. Won as the MVP of said Super Bowl. Get off mine and Jalen's lawns. Someone said, I'm so tired of hearing people say you can't win a Super Bowl if your quarterback isn't on a team-friendly or cheap deal. That's a solid one.
Yeah.
Because that's a fun debate.
Yeah.
I think that there are some people who fundamentally believe that.
I mean, Pat won one. He was getting paid a bunch.
Well, I also just love it as I'm so sick and tired of that being an absolute. I agree with that take.
Yeah.
As an absolute, it can be annoying. Mine is it's specifically with. So this one is specifically with Luis Castillo, but you can kind of broaden it where I routinely roll my eyes at this. Just trade Luis Castillo is right now my, like, get off my lawn take. If I may borrow from your segment, it's my, like, so sick and tired of it take. Just trade Luis Castillo. Luis Castillo's contract. Would you trade for it? No? Then why? What do you mean just trade it?
Just trade him.
The idea of just trading Luis Castillo without any acknowledgement whatsoever of how difficult said trade would be is really driving me crazy. And if I may, if I may.
Go for it.
Expanding it to, like, in general trades that are like, I don't like this player, so Curtis is complaining about this too. I don't like this player. They should just trade him for something. Wait, hang on. You want this player, you want to launch this player into the sun? You're so sick and tired of him, so you think that John Schneider should just deal him? Or Jerry DiPoto should just deal him? Why would it be easy to trade a guy that you can't wait to get off your roster?
Yeah.
I just, the idea of, like, let's trade this in my mind, like piece of trash. This isn't Luis Castillo, but like, let's trade this guy I can't stand. And I don't know, we'll get like their number 10 prospect maybe.
Yeah. One man's trash isn't always another man's treasure.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I hate that take so much.
I can't stand that either. It's there needs to be two teams, right? It takes two to tango.
It takes two.
The other team has to be interested in that player
Yes.
and see value in him. When you trade, you're trading value for other value. You're not trading a struggling player for value. I mean, someone always wins in a trade.
Yes.
But it's a lot more even than people think.
Exactly. Now, the Mariners may, because this world still exists, maybe they do trade Luis Castillo eventually. Maybe that's something that happens. I'm not saying this take is impossible. I'm saying that I'm currently issuing fines. I'm issuing citations.
Citations.
Anytime someone says, just trade Luis Castillo.
Just trade him.
Just trade him. Just trade him. A few more here before we hit break. Overuse of the term walk-off in baseball. Fair. Very specific, which I like.
Walk off.
This is R253 here getting driven crazy by walk off fill in the blank. Just over.
Give me an example. Like what?
Like,
why does it bother you?
It's a walk off RBI single. It's a walk off, or maybe they mean like walk off touchdown in the NFL, and it's like what?
Who
No,
says
you don't
that?
walk it off. I've heard walk off used
Really?
for other sports. Yeah, Curtis, back me up here.
Yeah. But they don't use it in basketball. It's always a buzzer
beater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, you kind of hear it in football every now and then. It's definitely a baseball thing.
You just don't like that it's being used so much. I mean, it's a walk off.
You know what? But I appreciate that this person was like, this is my thing and I'm sticking to it. I don't care if no one else is talking about this. I'm sick of people using
I'm gonna use that.
walk
Hey,
off. Don't you dare.
At 155, we're gonna have a walk off. What I need to know segment.
Oh God! You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Mariners insider Shannon Drayer joins us next.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
Tomorrow night at T-Mobile, the Mariners retire Randy's number 51. Live coverage on Seattle Sports during the Mariners pregame show beginning at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Windows are our home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Celebrate Mom with Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel's Mother's Day weekend giveaway. You could win one of 100 designer handbags filled with prizes on Saturday, May 9th and Sunday, May 10th. Don't forget to book a stay at the new hotel. It's awesome. Elevate your next getaway by combining effortless style with the utmost in relaxation. Head to snocasino.com for details. It is Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Wait, everything on this IHOP value menu is just $6?
I told you it was amazing. A huge plate of pancakes, bacon, and eggs is just $6.
Wow.
There's also French toast, a ham and cheese omelet, and oh, they got a BLT and fries now.
Okay, we're coming here every day.
You don't have to tell me twice.
Feast for just $6 with the IHOP value menu. $7 in some locations, available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Thinking about upgrading your water heater? Snohomish PUD can help. Right now, you can get $1,000 back when you install a qualifying heat pump water heater. These systems use far less energy than standard electric tanks, which means lower electric bills for you. Oh, nice. Choose an eligible model, apply for your rebate within 90 days, and get cash back from PUD. Learn more at snowpud.com/rebates.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub. Time to celebrate spring and warmer days ahead.
Get ready by adding a hot tub, swim spa, or sauna at home to take better care of you and your family. For nearly 50 years, Olympic has been offering products to help people live better. During our Soak, Sauna, and Swim event, find your perfect wellness solution and save thousands through May 10th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
After years of football and the injuries that go with it, my first thought was always go get surgery. Hey, it's Dave Wyman, but after a consultation with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, my eyes were open to an alternative to surgery, and I'm talking about stem cell therapy. Well, and my buddy and co-host Bob Stelton, also in pain, and decided to go see Dr. Wagner.
I had a hip issue from 14 years of jiu-jitsu.
How's the pain now?
Everything I did before, I can do just as well. Hitting the heavy bag, sparring, rolling, all of that is back in play. This whole thing has been such a pleasant surprise because I really was of the mindset, I'm going to have to go under the knife. I'm going to have to get surgery. And this really saved me from that. I could not be happier with the results.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine.
Do it. You will not regret it.
Hey, get the facts, hear from all the patients I've talked to, and schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you buy a new vehicle from Lee Johnson, you'll get a lifetime powertrain warranty included.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
We're back at it today with a series against the Royals. First pitch tonight is at 6:45, not 6:40. A reminder, this TV broadcast is on Apple TV. You can always find the pregame show and play-by-play, though, for every Mariners game right here on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. The Knicks made NBA history last night, getting out to a 47-point halftime lead over the Atlanta Hawks, most ever in an NBA playoff game. Final score 140-89. The Knicks advance to face the winner of Celtics 76ers.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Shannon, Drayer joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Shannon, Mariners are headed back home to Seattle, opening a series tonight against the Royals, and they wrapped up April at 500. All things considered, I thought this was pretty good news. How did you view April now in hindsight?
I much prefer it in hindsight than when they were going through the early parts.
Fair.
You know, it is. I mean, it's the age old. You've got to give them a little time to settle in. Don't panic until the end of the month, if not even later. I mean, 30 days, about 25 games. That's not really a representative sample, especially when the season is getting going and the variables are all different and, you know, nothing really normalizes for a little while. But when you're in the middle of it, it's not fun, especially when you have expectations where they have come from, and particularly the last 2 weeks. I think it's a good place for them. So all things considered, and especially when you take into account, we've also had a good look at the division. I wish they could have done a little more damage against the division, both for tiebreakers that come against them and, final record. That would have been great. But I do think that when you look at the Mariners and you look at the other struggling teams in the division, the Mariners are in better shape, as most of their struggles have very little to do with personnel and as far as injuries go, but just much more with trying to get going. And I think they have been able to do that the last 2 weeks.
Cole Young has transformed his body a bit and maybe his game. If you haven't really been following, I know you haven't talked about the other people, Shannon. I haven't been following his journny. Have you spoken to him
Tell me about Cole Young.
Have you spoken to him about his offseason and kind of what he did to prepare his body?
Yeah, it was really impressive with him because we thought we got to know him last year. And, he is, I don't want to say quiet. He is somebody that likes to be in the middle of things, but he's not loud by any means. And he was somebody at times looked a little wide-eyed at things last year as a rookie, and at other times looked completely comfortable and like, hey, this is where I belong, and this is, everything's going to be good. There were times when he was consistent last year and times when he would start to swing at things that he normally wouldn't swing at. There were times when he looked overwhelmed last year. And then, of course, at the very end of the year, I think it was apparent to everybody, he was worn down. And a big league season is different. And what really strikes me is that how quickly he was able to assess all of that and take care of it. And that even though you can look at a guy, and if you've ever talked to him before, very laid back, but there's a different intensity. It's just harder to see in the way that he attacked his off-season work. I think really it demonstrates that he took a look at it and said, I need to do this, 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 and this. And he did. He went and he did it. And he works out in Pittsburgh near his home. He works out with a bunch of major leaguers, one of them Andrew McCutchen, which, that is, you can't get better experience if you're an offensive player than that. And then others are Mason Miller is somebody that he worked out at the same time. So he was surrounded by, great players, young and old. And I think that just helps in what you're doing. But the biggest thing for him was he needed to get stronger, and he did go to work on that. But you look at him in the field, and he hasn't lost a step or anything like that. I think everything he did was appropriate. But I think that there was also an aspect of taking a look, defense. What I love when I talk to him now, when I asked him, what do you want to accomplish next month? Defense is what he put first. And if you looked at him last year, you would have wondered, you would have thought, well, maybe he worries about his offense first. But he put defense first. And it just all ties back to Cole Young was a first-round pick by the Mariners. He's a first-rounder, and it's all there. It just didn't always look like it last year.
An interesting first month for JP in that, you start on the IL and you're already entering the season, despite being a leader in the clubhouse and in a long-respected fan favorite here. You're entering the season with extra pressure just because you're getting a little bit older and the Mariners' top prospect is right over your shoulder. And then Colt Emerson deals with the wrist injury, so doesn't end up getting called out. But I feel like people are kind of picking through JP's first month with a fine-tooth comb, understandably, but it also means that I'm trying to gauge as each month goes by kind of how he did in a way that maybe I wasn't last year. So I'm going to ask you, when you look at, what was encouraging and maybe a question or two you have about JP for just the season's first month, what are you seeing so far?
I'm seeing a player that basically didn't have a spring training. Mm-hmm. And I think everything that I see from him is pretty close to what we have seen from him in the past. And, when he is on, it has looked very good with him, and that's been invaluable in that they have been able to put him at the top of the lineup when Brendan Donovan went out. But we know that ideally that's not his best spot. So he really hasn't been in offensive position for the last 10 days. So that doesn't help matters either. He is somebody that just needs to settle in. And all that said, you look at where he is with his walk rate, it's almost 15%. You look at where he is with his strikeout rate, is a team low 11%. And that's what he should be. And I think that in some cases he's been a victim of some bad luck in that some pitches that he has squared up have been right at people. But when I look at him offensively, I see a lot of what we have seen from him before. I just don't think that he has had much opportunity. And if you look at the last 2 weeks, he's one of the players who's come along nicely in that time. In the last 2 weeks, he's hitting 222, which not the greatest, but his on-base percentage has been 352, which especially when he's been at the top of the lineup has been most helpful. His slugging percentage has been 400, which is just fine. And so he's doing the things right now. I don't think he's looking over his shoulder in any way, shape, or matter. He is the shortstop of the Seattle Mariners. And I think for him, the biggest thing right now is just to get a little bit more comfortable at the plate, get the plate appearances, play every day. Let's remember when he first even came back, he still would play 3 days and get 1 day off. So he's just a couple of weeks, I think, behind everybody else. But then again, if you look at what he did in the last 2 weeks, he was there offensively.
Obviously, winning cures all, right? But, Shannon, I remember looking at this team when the season started and thinking, they're just not having fun. They're not settled in yet as far as just being around each other and personalities or whatnot. Do you feel like that's the way the season started and they're in a better place now, or am I looking too deep into it?
Oh, it's not fun to struggle. It's not fun to have an individual struggle. It's even worse when the whole team is struggling, and then you even end up putting up more upon your shoulders. I talked to Kevin Seitzer on the road trip, and he said, honestly, I have never had a team where all 9 hitters in the lineup were cold at the same time. And that's something that they were dealing with. And as hitting can be contagious, not hitting can be contagious as well because of what I just said. You end up putting more pressure on yourself. And that, of course, is going to provide an atmosphere that it wasn't a bad atmosphere by any means, but it wasn't as loose. It wasn't as happy as you have seen over the last couple of weeks. So it all feeds off of itself, and it's up to somebody to pull themselves out of it, and that pulls somebody else along. And we did end up seeing that. I think we are seeing that right now. And I think that when the middle of the order is going, I think you're going to have that confidence that you saw from them a good part of the year last year. And now we're seeing that, but we're also seeing the other parts of the order really check in as well. And I think that's important. So I do think that it was the struggles you were seeing, and I think the expectations, both personal and what was put in from the outside, also played into it. And to a man, they all said, we're fine. We're going to be fine. And I think that there was a true belief there, but it's not fun when you are in that kind of struggle, and it's taken absolutely nothing off the table for them, and they know that. So, hopefully it's a slow start that they put behind them, and so far so good in what we have seen the last 2 weeks, and hopefully they're able to take advantage of what is coming up. The Royals, they might be a little sneaky. They've been doing the same thing the last couple of weeks after getting off to a slow start. Their numbers are shockingly similar to where the Mariners are over the last 2 weeks, but it's not quite the same as playing a top team. They will see that with the Braves coming in, but then you hit the road and you have the Chicago White Sox, who have been perennial, at the basement. They're not quite there right now. The Royals are because of their start. And then you go to Houston, and they're just in a world of hurt right now. So you have really a great opportunity to continue what we have seen from the start of the last homestand, and perhaps even, get a little bit of a roll going.
Bryce Miller, what are we watching and listening for today when it comes to kind of what looks like progress for him? And then, as far as you know, is he still on track to return by mid-May?
I think Miller is, I think they've seen everything that they have wanted to. He's had the 3 starts, and there have been no hiccups, and the velocity has been there. And, I think that with his next outing, I think he could probably get up to 80 pitches, and then that's when things get interesting. They've said all along they would like to use the entire rehab assignment that he has, and if there were any hiccups, they could have even, asked for another and gotten that. So it'll be interesting to see if he has 1 more or 2 more after that. And, there hasn't been a bump. They have a couple of things that they could do, and that they could take him up to 75 to 80 pitches and then throw him a time after that, perhaps pull back a little bit like they often do in spring training with the starters. They could decide what they're going to do and put him into the rotation after his 4th rehab start. There is a lot that they have got to get worked out over that. He does line up with the back end of the rotation right now, which I'm sure is no surprise to anyone. So, I think he is doing everything that he needs to be doing right now, and I think that he is on schedule for a return when they were anticipating, which I can't see being any later than mid-May.
How would you we were talking to Jordan Schusterman the other day, and I asked him this question. I want to ask it to you, too, because over the past couple of seasons, it's been Cal, Julio, and this season it kind of started off, okay, well, when's Cal going to get going? And we haven't really talked a lot about Julio and where his game is and how he's progressed this season. What have you seen out of Julio and what do you like?
I think we're starting to see what is a normal progression for him, that he gets into a season, or maybe even like if he is in a struggle, what you start to see him coming along in that he'll start to, he might start swinging at some things that you don't want him swinging at. And what we've seen in the last 2 years is he can get out of that quicker. He certainly knows and recognizes pitches better these last 2 years than he has in his first few in the big leagues. Then you see him just start to kind of just take his hits. He's not someone, and I do think that he was pressing a little bit when everybody else was, but he really is somebody that goes through a progression of, okay, I'm going to take my hits, and I'm going to take my hits the other way, and some nice, easy singles. And you see that, and then you start to see him pulling the ball a little bit, and that's when he gets into his power. I think he's in between taking his hits right now and getting into that power. And, for me, it's interesting, and I think that if you just pull out just, an occasion here or an occasion there where he does press and he does try to do too much, I think you're starting to see a profile of how he goes about really getting into it if there is a struggle or even at the beginning of the season. And it's surprisingly disciplined. I've been talking about what's been going on since the start of the last homestand. His strikeout rate in that time is only 15%. And his slugging percentage is .471, and that's very acceptable, but that there's a little bit more in that. We've only seen one home run in that time, and that's coming. But I think when you look at him at the plate right now, you look at a guy that is much more comfortable. He's a guy that did make an adjustment because he did feel a little bit too tense at the plate, that he was getting a little too wrapped up in the struggles. And now he's a guy that is more focused on, if I hit the baseball, I know good things are going to happen. He makes contact, he's going to have a good exit velocity. If he doesn't hit it right at somebody, I think he's really getting to the point where you are going to start seeing more of those extra base hits if he squares it up. And if he isn't able to square it up, I do think that we see that he is able to still do a little bit more situationally and just in a much better place than he was in the first week of the season, where everything seemed to be upside down for everybody.
I know that standings kind of don't matter in April and May. That being said, Mariners game and a half back of the A's. It's still something that people are going to watch for a team that was expected to and favored to win the AL West. So you've got the Mariners with a series here against the Royals, and then one against the Braves, both at home. And then you've got the A's with series against the Guardians and Orioles, I think. Do you feel confident that the Mariners can make up that ground, maybe even pull ahead over the next homestand here?
Oh, I think there's a good chance of it. And you're right, it's not terribly important right now, but I think it would be good for this team to get on that roll, to get to the top, take the top. And then I think with that, I think something that can come with that perhaps is a little bit more of that attitude, and that attitude that we heard from day one of spring training and the expectations that they put on themselves and the way that they looked when we came into spring training. They didn't look like a struggling team that they looked like for the first couple of weeks of the season. And even though we didn't really panic about that, I think, don't you want to see a team that's going out there expecting to win every night? And I think those expectations can be that much more real when it's coming from a spot where you've stacked up some wins. You've got that behind you. And I don't think it would hurt for them to have that, for a season, to go through a season like that and just build on that and start to, if the World Series is your goal, the postseason is your goal, look like it. And I think that is exactly what we saw throughout spring training, and perhaps that's something that we see if they get to the top of the division, and that's something that being in that spot gives them that little bit of extra as well.
How are you feeling about the bullpen right now? Obviously, Brash got pulled fairly quickly. We've seen some other names. Is there anyone that's impressed you or someone that you want to see more out of?
Yeah, I'm really interested, as I have been from the start, in figuring out what Jose Ferrer is. In seeing him and what he did on this road trip, he's coming in and we're thinking, okay, he's another lefty who can pitch in leverage situations, who has got some closing experience, so he can save a game here and there. And all of that is great. But when you take a look at him and you see that he put up multiple 2-inning outings on the road trip, and one of them threw 2 innings one day, came in and closed it out the next day. You start thinking, okay, he can pitch multiple innings. He can pitch to left and right. He can be the leverage arm and come in and save on a day that Munoz is down. That is just hugely valuable. And the impression that I got for him, and I got a little bit of a confirmation from that, from one of the pitching coaches, but the more we learn about him, the more I'm seeing he's a little bit like Edward Brazzardo, who is somebody that is more comfortable the more he is pitching. And some guys, they like to have that touch every day or every other, 3 out of 4 days is nothing to them. They pitch better as they pitch more. And if you throw that into the mix, and he is that guy that can give you the extra like that and the up and the down and whatnot, that's a huge, huge, huge addition for this bullpen. And as far as the rest of the bullpen goes, yeah, it's scary knowing that you could be without Brash for a little while. We, of course, will learn more about that with an injury report today. But that is, just a huge, huge bright spot for this team so far.
Make sure you're following Shannon, speaking of those injury updates, at Shannon Drayer on X. She is Mariners Insider Shannon Drayer. Thanks, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
You got it, guys.
See ya. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. What do you understand but still feel is kind of disrespectful to players trying to make it?
Uar Bernard was drafted 7th round by the Eagles. He's never played football, not once. 6'4", 306 pounds, ran a 4.63, 39-inch vert, 10-inch broad jump. He was in that program where the NFL goes to Nigeria, they get some prospects and they bring them back. They train for 10 weeks. I get it. I'm watching him move, and you can tell he just hasn't done these movements before. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Like, he might be okay. But, man, there's young men out there training their whole lives, even if it is a 7th-round pick, right, for that moment. Congratulations to that young man. But I'm looking at the league and saying you could have just picked him up as an undrafted free agent. Like, let someone else who's been grinding their whole life have that moment of being drafted in the 7th round.
Got to think about Andre Fuller's call that we played earlier. Yeah. Just like someone who, for maybe some players, they'd be like offended, but this is someone who is looking very seriously at not getting drafted and just going, I just got drafted.
Yeah, so congratulations to the young man. I mean, the genetics are real, but there are people well-equipped to play in the NFL over this young man.
I like that take. Second down. What are 2 reasons why you will watch the Eagles closely this year?
One, I want to see how Rick Willen handles that Eagles crowd. It's going to be a bit different, a bit more rough around the edges than over here in Seattle. And 2, WSU did not have any players taken in the draft this year, but Tucker Large, a safety, has been signed as undrafted free agent. So I'm going to look, and he's of your delegation.
Oh.
And he's a safety.
Let's go.
So let's go get it.
Let's go.
Big ups to Tucker. I knew he was going to get picked up. I talked to a lot of scouts. They liked his game. I loved his game when he was at WSU. For sure tackler all across the field. And then Rick Willen. I just want to see how he handles that. Because there's going to be a play he gives up. And Philly's going to let you hear about it. And I hope Rick is just mentally strong enough to move on, go to the next play, and make a play.
I should have known when you said Tucker. The second you said Tucker, that's either a white man or a Labrador. Third down. What does Shilo have to learn?
You hear what he said?
Yes.
So Mary Kay Cabot, she writes in Cleveland. She's gotten awards for her journalism. Like, she's been in the game for a while. And she said, we talked about the take yesterday. I think we did. She said, I think they should just declare Watson the QB1 over in Cleveland and let the first team cook. Very logical statement. He's the most veteran quarterback over there, probably the most talented quarterback over there. Hasn't played well as of late, and he just went on a rant and told her to make a sandwich and said, she's putting other women in a weird spot because she's not doing her homework. Shilo, just chill on this one. Just say that, no, my brother should be the guy. I think he's better. She said nothing wrong in the situation. If I were Cleveland, I would let Deshaun Watson go with the ones right now because he's shown that he can play in this league. Granted, he hasn't played good as of late. Shilo, just be careful, man. I think he has a great personality, and he's probably be good in this Twitch and all this social media stuff. But this lady's an OG, and she said nothing wrong. No. So just be careful with that.
Also, the make me a sandwich thing is so
tired.
And
he's implying, right?
Exactly. You look so boring. with that insult.
Make me a
It's
sandwich.
painfully
It's like
lame.
he's like a 65-year-old man. Like, what are you doing?
Fourth down. How can the Seahawks make history?
Tyrone Broden, 6'5" wide receiver, who was on the practice squad last year for the Hawks, is changing positions to cornerback. There's never been a corner over 6'4", a 6'5" corner. If he plays in a game, he will be the tallest corner to ever suit up in the NFL. I just want to see him move. I want to see him in the back pedal. I want to see him flip those hips. He must be comfortable doing all that if he's making that switch. So the Hawks could have the tallest corner to ever play the game if this young man makes a squad and suits up.
Things are getting messy in Boston, and I am not talking about the Vrabel-Russini scandal. That's next.
For the best insider analysis,
Bumpus and Wyman, the floor is yours. This is who you wanted.
Yeah, this is the guy I wanted.
Lock in at SeattleSports.com.
The Seattle Seahawks select Jadarian Price.
There it is.
Notre Dame.
The home run picks.
He kind of stood alone. Great player.
And what's next as John Schneider, Mike McDonald, and the Seahawks put together the crew that'll defend the Lombardi Trophy.
They don't draft for need. They draft the best available players.
It's only at SeattleSports.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's radio to 64,000.
Hey, it's Mike Salk here for my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And if you're looking for a spot to catch all the spring baseball and sports, I got a place for you. Hawks Peak Sports Bar and Grill. It's your home for game days with more than 60 TVs, so you won't miss a play. They got great food and drinks, and nothing beats the views. So get in on all the action at Hawks Peak. Head to snocasino.com for all the details. That's snocasino.com. It is Seattle's closest Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Michael is in his 70s, and he was dealing with an injury.
I had tears in my rotator cuff. Just the discomfort of going about everyday life. Day-to-day things were not comfortable or almost impossible, but just being inactive was troubling.
He was in a great deal of pain.
I started trying to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand, and you can't do it. It was ridiculous.
Searching for answers, Michael found Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, where he underwent stem cell therapy.
You know, I play basketball Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so I'm getting my shot back. It's not back to where it was, but hey, before I couldn't even do anything. So 100% improvement of what it was.
Wow, that's great to hear. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I can share without a doubt that it helped me, and I'm grateful for that.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
The Puyallup RV Show, now through Sunday. Shop hundreds of new and used RVs, manufactured homes, and get show-only prices, plus free parking. Tickets at PuyallupRVShow.com.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off duration, woodscapes, and super deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Evan Cohen here. PayPal is now the official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL, which means all the money moments that fandom creates, whether splitting tailgate costs or chipping in on tickets and game day food between friends, are covered. Wherever the game is played or watched, PayPal moves with fans. You can send money through text, email, or directly to your friends with eligible accounts on Venmo. Just download the PayPal app, share all the moments that matter. Account with PayPal is required, not available in all regions where PayPal operates.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Taking a look around the world of sports. Among the many crazy headlines to come out about Dianna Russini over the last few weeks. One was about her saving an elderly man. Do you guys remember this? It was from Page 6, the New York Post, a while back. It was like shortly after the scandal initially broke, to where we were like, wait, what? Dianna Russini saved a dude out of a Jeep? It turns out she may not have had as big a role in that, despite what was previously reported. I don't know why. It's not my fault that this story keeps adding chapters. Page 6 says a witness, there were multiple people that stopped. A witness claims that Dianna did not, in fact, stand on top of the Jeep. Like, the initial report was she was lifted on top of the Jeep and then was like helping the driver out of it. Another witness says, no, that's not what happened. I did see Dianna Russini there. She was holding the leash of a dog that was in the accident, which is great. That her and her husband showed up to help them is like credit to them for that. But they also said that what they saw was their husband, not Russini, who had freed the driver and his dog by ripping open the canvas roof of the Jeep. So the tipster says it was the tipster's husband. I misread it. At first I thought it was Diana's husband, the tipster's husband, who freed the driver. Now, what I like thinking is that that's also not true, and that these are just different people from Jersey fighting over who saved who. I also like that.
It sounds like she has a problem. She
a PR problem.
Yeah,
and needed some
embellishes.
help.
She doesn't tell the truth, and she be creeping. So yeah, this is it gets deeper and deeper. She just needs to like disappear for a year and just chill. Yeah. You know, I wonder. And have we heard anything about her and her husband? Are they working it out, or
we haven't heard anything?
I think she's laying low. Which, you know what, good for her. That's something she should absolutely do.
Maybe the tipster, who is not named as a man or woman, maybe the tipster in this story is a woman, and someone thought she was Dianna Russini.
Maybe. That makes sense.
I don't know. It was a chaotic moment. She really was there. People really were there helping this person out of a Jeep after a car accident, which, like, good for them. And I'm glad that person's okay. But it's just like a story that keeps getting things added, and you can't look away.
Yeah.
Next up.
Have you ever taken credit for anything that was clearly somebody else?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm sure
You've had a couple great headline rewrites that I was like, but that's mostly out of show formatting. Like I will afterwards be like, thanks, Curtis. But that's to avoid. Me and Curtis both brainstorm all the headline rewrites before.
Yeah, I would do the same. NASA Chobe, our producer with the Seahawks, he gives us so much information.
Yeah.
That I'll take some of it, and then afterwards I'm like, thanks, man. He'd
exactly.
But he's like, no, that's what producers do. I'm supposed to do.
Curtis, have you ever done that?
I've definitely, like, if somebody says a joke really quiet, and, like, I've definitely repeated it louder than them, and then people are like, oh, man, that was so funny. It's like, yeah, you're right. It was pretty funny. You're right.
There's nothing like that,
I've never lied about saving an elderly man from a car accident.
That I've never done.
Especially in the wake of a PR nightmare when you're looking for any kind of good press.
I was a chronic liar when I was younger.
You know what? I lied one time to Jen because I stayed at the golf course way too late, drunk way too many beers, and I was like, but I got a hole-in-one. My homie got the hole-in-one.
That's one of my favorite things because you told me that, and so I thought you had a hole-in-one, and when you were like, I hit my first hole-in-one, we were like, well, wait.
No, no, I was the homie. I was just there drinking too much.
Oh no. But I liked that she was like, that's okay, though.
Yeah, she's like, okay, all
right. Next story here, some more weirdness from Boston. This one concerns the mass firing, really, of Boston's coaching staff, starting with manager Alex Cora, but a number of other coaches. More details are trickling out via The Athletic, and they don't paint GM Craig Breslow in a very positive light. Now, it's not like a hit piece per se, but there are a couple key points, and let's go over them now. First, Breslow, who obviously fired Cora and the rest of that crew, apparently wanted to clean house as early as 2023, but then third baseman Alex Bregman, obviously an existing relationship with Cora, stepped in to keep the coaches from getting fired. That was so as early as 2023, Breslow was like, I want my own people here, coaches, front office, everything. I want my own people. Last year, again, the Red Sox were a playoff team. Last year, I don't know when, he was also considering firing them still, and then Bregman kept him from doing it. And obviously Bregman is no longer with Boston, and so Breslow's moving on. It flies in the face a bit of Breslow publicly saying, this wasn't my plan. I didn't enter the season with a plan on firing these guys. This report makes it seem like for a couple years you've wanted to fire these guys.
How good were these guys the past couple of years, Curtis?
They made the wild card round last year. So, I mean, I would say they were an improving team for sure.
Yeah. Also, what's, and Curtis can speak more to this, but like Curtis, it sounds like also as part of an answer to that is there are like prospects that haven't worked out, maybe some platoons that haven't worked out. And it's like, okay, but is that Cora and the staff or is that Breslow?
Right, and I think Breslow probably got a big head after dealing Rafael Devers midseason last year, and they still made the playoffs. I think he looks at that and says, wow, I traded the face of the franchise, and yet we still made the playoffs. Like, clearly I know what I'm doing here. And it's like, okay. Now, Devers is off to a really slow start this year, so maybe there's, some signs that he's not going to produce the way that he did in Boston, but again, like the Red Sox under Breslow compared to what they were prior to him, I think have underperformed as a franchise.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I get the impression, guys, that the two firings that we've been talking about, Phillies moving on and the Red Sox moving on, are kind of two different dumpster fires. One is the Phillies drastically underperforming expectations despite having stars. They had 9 wins when they fired their manager. Cool. Thompson was fired. Then there's the Red Sox, where it sounds like it's been lingering under the surface for years, is also about philosophical differences and is about a GM who wants specific control over the guys that are there, coaching staff, front office, no matter what, that he's like, I want my people. And I've been wanting to fire these guys for a minute. And there's almost nothing Cora could have done.
Yeah, no, when you are in control of an organization like that, you want to be surrounded by people who think like you, who have the same values or whatnot, and you look for any opportunity. And it sounds like, yep, all right, tough start. Been wanting to do this. Let's go ahead and get you guys up out of here.
Sticking with baseball for our next and last story, retired big leaguer Alexei Ramirez made a brief comeback in the World Baseball Classic to play for Team Cuba at the age of 44, which is very, very cool. However, it would appear that he had a staggering amount of help because he tested positive for not 2, not 3, 4 different anabolic steroids.
Yo.
The old school stuff.
And that's what I call a guy who wants to win.
Yo.
What I call that dedication. I call that want to.
If y'all see me out on the practice field this mini camp, just know I took the same stuff he took.
Bump, if we heard from the Seahawks and they were like, yo, we can get you a tryout. Just like one quick, you can have one day at OTAs this June. When are you starting your steroid regimen?
Tonight. Somebody meet me at Dino's and let's do this.
Not at Dino's.
What I love is that he knows his baseball career is over after the WBC.
Yeah.
He's got nothing to lose.
Exactly.
Like, let's go. Run me up.
I quietly respect this.
I do.
You know what I mean?
I
Where
do.
he's like, what are you going to do? Fire me? I'm about to quit.
And he's like, we're not going to win the tournament anyway.
Right. I just kind of want to play baseball on steroids.
So I want to hang out with my bros one more time.
Look, who among us hasn't wanted to do steroids and hit a baseball?
I would have loved to do that.
Do steroids without consequences? Yeah.
Yes.
Listen, now it's not going to be in play in the same way for me, but Curtis and Bump, if you were told we'll load you up with steroids and you can participate in a home run derby and there'd be no consequences whatsoever, a little part of you isn't at least a little curious.
I'm sitting down and having conversations with people.
Consulting doctors.
Yes.
How long will these side effects last? Only 6 months? Okay.
Yeah, it might be worth it. Time for the IRG injury report brought to you by IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Bryce Miller dealing with that oblique issue through 4 scoreless innings in a rehab start with AAA Tacoma Thursday night. I misspoke earlier and said Friday. Mariners GM Justin Hollander normally gives injury updates to the media prior to every homestand, so keep an eye on it. Shannon Drayer will have those on tonight's pregame show. Make sure you're also following her on X at Shannon Drayer. You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Talking a bit of Mariners next, and then back to the Seahawks with CBS Sports draft analyst Mike Renner at noon.
Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10.
The great Daniel Jeremiah, we spent a lot of time talking with you about Jadarian Price. Is he the starting running back game 1 of the season?
I would imagine so, and then you're going to kind of be able to ease Charbonnet back in. He can do everything you want to do. So, yeah, I think he's fully capable of being that guy. Vision, balance. His ability in the passing game, I think, is underrated. I think he's going to be able to do some things, catch the ball out of the backfield. He's got good hands from that standpoint.
Only on Seattle Sports.
Welcome to IRG's Sports Injury Update. We're with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and president of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, and our guest, Dr. Nicholas Vaudreuil, orthopedic surgeon with advanced accredited fellowship training in sports medicine at Reliance Surgeons, Everett Bone and Joint.
Dr. Nicholas Vaudreuil, thank you for joining us. Tell us about ulnar nerve compression.
So ulnar nerve, it's the big nerve that goes along the inside of your elbow. Everybody kind of knows of it as the funny bone. It's the one that you hit and it gives you zingers all the way into your hand. So not only does it cause that, but it also can cause issues with chronic numbness, tingling, and pain going into your hand if you have either the nerve is too pinched or it's getting chronically irritated or it's actually popping over the knuckle.
When you have that pain going into your hand, where would that pain be located particularly?
Yeah, so it starts right at the inside of your elbow and it goes all the way down your inner forearm to your pinky finger and your ring finger.
And what causes the ulnar nerve compression? And probably a lot of things, but I mean, what do you think causes this?
It's usually like a repetitive thing, like overuse over time. And certainly different people have predispositions towards this, but it's like the pinch points around the nerve get really tight and the nerve doesn't like that. And it responds by sending pain signals and numbness.
How do you diagnose it?
So a lot of times it's based on history, but we will also add in nerve studies just to see how much that nerve is affected and if its signal is really compromised.
And what's the treatment like?
So depending on these, like it's something you don't really want to ignore. You know, a lot of times these actually do end up needing surgery, whether it's just taking the pressure off the nerve or sort of redirecting it so that it's not popping over the knuckle.
Tell us about return to activity.
So most people are able to bounce back really quick, especially if it's just the surgery to take the pressure off. I would say most people are back within 1 to 2 months. If you have to have the nerve moved, I usually add on another month, but it's a really high return to activity and most people get back to 100% with time.
Excellent information. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
With over 40 neighborhood
at clinics around Washington, IRG has you covered. Let IRG be your family's physical therapist. Find the location nearest you at irgpt.com. That's irgpt.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. Dayandnight.net. This month, Day and Night gives you a free furnace with the installation of an AC or heat pump.
If you're not sure your furnace will make it through another winter, call us to install a proper, long-lasting, efficient heating system backed by our lifetime workmanship guarantee, so you won't be left out in the cold.
Install an AC or heat pump and get a free furnace from Day and Night Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Dayandnight.net.
Heading outdoors or on the water this weekend? Check in with Joey and Nelly on the Outdoor Line from 6 to 8 a.m. every Saturday on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Spring is here, Seattle, and now is the smartest time to replace your roof. Trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing, a local, family-owned company that knows how to roof in Washington weather year-round. Schedule your free estimate today at 3treeroofing.com to take advantage of spring pricing, shorter wait times, and get $500 off your new roof before the summer rush hits. Our experts come to you, build a clear plan, and give you an estimate that same day. No surprises and no high-pressure sales tactics. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
It's a brave face we put on. We never want to be any trouble. But you know, getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we are aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. It's free and it's confidential. Call 988 anywhere, anytime. A message from the Washington State Department of Health.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Around the Diamond is sponsored by Klein Jewelers.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Getting back to the draft and the Seattle Seahawks in less than 15 with Mike Renner. Before we do, though, quick look at this upcoming series for the Seattle Mariners. Taking on the Kansas City Royals here in Seattle. As a reminder, tonight's game, about 5 minutes later than normal at 6:45, it is an Apple TV broadcast. So you're going to find it on Apple TV or, of course, Seattle Sports 7:10 a.m. and the Seattle Sports
I'm not
app.
watching. I'm just listening.
Pre and post. Exactly. Exactly. Period.
Oh, don't say that.
I've been saying it. I've been saying it so much lately. Oh, my God. The other day, these young people were trying to get me to donate to something, and I listened to the entire thing specifically just because I was like, they're so young, they have to think I'm cool. Like, I can't walk away. I need to be on their
Get
level.
that validation.
Yeah, they definitely They got me. So again, 6:45 p.m. first pitch against the Royals. This is the question that I'm giving us, and feel free to say it doesn't matter. How do the M's retake the West this weekend? Obviously, this includes the A's dropping a couple. They're a game and a half up. You can talk about whether or not it matters at all, but like, what needs to happen in this series? Your probables, your pitching probables: Wu, Hancock, Castillo, for this 3-game series against the Royals. What's one thing that needs to happen?
Well, 2 out of the 3 need bounce back performances, right? The last time we saw Wu, he got lit up a bit. Last time we saw Castillo, he got lit up a bit. So what needs to happen is these guys to find their command again, find their confidence, and just light them up, because we know this team goes as these arms go. I'm more confident in Wu than Castillo. Castillo, I'm still patiently waiting for him to have that veteran bounce back.
Yeah.
With Wu, I mean, you're just going to have bad games, bad days. That's going to happen. So initially, 2 out of those 3 need to have that bounce back performance.
I am looking at we keep talking about, for good reason, Naylor, Rodriguez, and Cal. We will continue to talk about them. Cole Young, for great reasons. We're all talking about him. 2 of the starters you're going to face in the series are lefties. I think I'm looking at guys that we haven't been talking about as much, right? Rob Refsnyder, to kind of have those moments to shine, like a guy that we have not talked about a ton in this series to have a good series. I think that's what you need in order to kind of retake the West this weekend. Curtis, you had on Extra Innings Heidi Watney, who's going to be on the broadcast tonight. Did you guys mostly just preview the Mariners? Did you preview the series?
Yeah, we did a little bit. Obviously, Kansas City, the face of their franchise is Bobby Witt, and he's off to a pretty decent start. Not necessarily to the level that we've kind of come to expect from Bobby Witt, but he's still great defensively, as an OPS around 800. Usually that's over 900. So maybe not the level that he's normally been playing at, but there's really only 2 bats, maybe 3 bats that are worth considering when looking at this Royals lineup. It's Witt, it's Michael Garcia, their third baseman, and Carter Jensen, who has kind of split time at catcher with Salvador Perez. Perez has not hit well at all to start this season, but Jensen
been crushing ABS.
Yeah, exactly. Jensen has an OPS over 800. Garcia's around 800. So don't let Bobby Witt or Michael Garcia beat you, and I think you've got a pretty decent shot at winning this series. You did mention the lefty pitching, Cole Reagans, tonight, who has been a really good starting pitcher in years past, off to a slow start this year, 5 ERA. With a whip of 1.48, so maybe there's an opportunity for the Mariners to kind of continue those struggles for him. But yeah, that lefty lineup for the Mariners, that has been a really big struggle for them for what seems like years now. So hopefully,
understandably, like I can get it. It's usually your platoon guys. It's not your like ideal lineup, but you do need a little bit more.
Right, and I think a big way to help out with that is, Cal Raleigh gets back to that level of mashing that he was a year ago against lefties. He was unbelievable against left-handed pitching last year, had an OPS over 1,000, and for his career has never been really close to that kind of hitter. So, I mean, if Cal can help out a little bit offensively, not to say that he hasn't been, but maybe to the level that he was in 2025, that could go a long way too.
Sure. Like, it's like, hey, the sack fly was great, especially with,
Productive
Cole Young
AB.
doing what he did. Yeah, productive AB, a good AB. Maybe we add a home run on today. Maybe we get a 2 RBI double, whatever it is. Extra base hits, some slugging, driving in a bit more. And it's fair to look at your stars and ask for that, even though it's baseball and everything's inconsistent. I think I know it probably doesn't really matter. Like, do standings even matter to you right now?
When you're high in the standings, it means something to me. When you're low, I kind of ignore it. I'm like, all right, let me just make sure that I'm seeing some things that we need to see. Let's make sure that, the bottom of the order is producing. Thank you, Cole Young. Let's make sure that defensively JP looks a bit better. Let's make sure that Cal is still squaring up and hitting for power. Now, there are some things when you're low that you kind of ignore when you're high. you start thinking of the possibilities. All right, how many games until we can pass these guys? I think we went over that scenario yesterday, and we feel as a show that within these next 6 games, they can. Who's above them? The A's right now? Get by the A's and be one in the division.
Yeah, A's only a game and a half up, and they have the Guardians and Orioles, I think. I'm going to need to double check that.
Atlanta.
Seattle. They have Atlanta?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so they're flopping, going between the two. Flipping, excuse me. Look, if you were to ask me just like, hey, do standings matter on May 1st? No, not really. But I think our conversation with Jordan Schusterman yesterday is a pretty important one when it comes to how wide open the American League is. Jordan said, look, it's the Yankees and everyone else right now. Yankees far 20 wins right now and very much look like a complete team, a team that's who knows if they'll be hanging on to first all year long in a competitive AL East, but like clearly look like a team that's going to be a problem, and that's what we all thought heading into the season. The Mariners don't look like that team yet. They're keeping their head above water. They have not buried themselves in the first month, which was our goal. But eventually that goal shifts from don't bury yourself to start to pull ahead. And I think this is when the shift starts to happen. If they leave May 3 above 500, 4 or 5 above 500, hanging on to the AL West lead, that's my goal for this month. Is if April was about don't bury yourself, then this is start to separate when the American League is wide open.
Yep.
Wide open.
Here's your chance.
All right. We're getting back to the Seahawks, back to the Mariners, because we are live from Seahawks rookie camp with CBS Sports draft analyst Mike Renner. Very quickly, let's go around the diamond. The Mariners look to keep it rolling against the Royals tonight. Pregame starts at 5:30 p.m. First pitch at 6:45 on Seattle Sports. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. More Bump Stacy coming up next.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
Tomorrow night at T-Mobile, the Mariners retire Randy's number 51. Live coverage on Seattle Sports during the Mariners pregame show beginning at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Hi, Andy Klein here. There's something special about a baseball game. The moments and the memories. At Klein Jewelers, that's exactly how we feel about our diamonds. They're a beautiful reminder of life's biggest moments. We're here to help you find the perfect diamond or beautiful piece of jewelry to celebrate your engagement, anniversary, birthday, promotion, or just because. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Shine with Klein.
The idea of push-starting a boat just doesn't seem right to us here at Pacific Power Batteries. A marine battery should just plain work, every time. Let us help you with selecting the right type of marine battery. Deep cycle, starting battery, AGM, or even lithium battery. You can start with our helpful hints on our website or just stop by and talk with us. Don't worry, you don't need to be a Marine to buy a battery from us. Get it? Marine batteries? Pacific Power Batteries. Come into a business with a soul.
Hey, Mike Salk here for all my friends at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And the show lineup is pretty sick. You like comedy? Chris Tucker, Friday, June 26th. And David Spade on Saturday, August 15th. For music, Hinder is going to be here Friday, July 3rd. And then little country music, Mitchell Tenpenny on Friday, July 10th. You can go to snocasino.com for all those details. Remember, it's Seattle's closest. It's Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub. Time to celebrate spring and warmer days ahead. Get ready by adding a hot tub, swim spa, or sauna at home to take better care of you and your family. For nearly 50 years, Olympic has been offering products to help people live better. During our Soak, Sauna, and Swim event, find your perfect wellness solution and save thousands through May 10th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Mariners are back at it today with the series against the Royals. First pitch tonight at 6:45 p.m. As a reminder, this TV broadcast is on Apple, but you can always find the pregame show and play-by-play and postgame for every game right here on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
CBS Sports draft analyst Mike Renner joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Mike, how's it going?
Going great. Thanks for having me on.
We're happy to have you. We're live from Seahawks rookie camp, so very fitting that we get to talk to you about this class. I'll start with just kind of your general overview. I know that it's hard to grade a team who makes their first pick at 32 and didn't have a ton in the top 100. That being said, how did you feel on the whole about Seattle's approach to the 2026 draft?
It felt like they were truly plugging the holes they missed in free agency. And, I don't always advocate for a strategy like that, but not only because of this draft being so weak, but also because Seahawks just being so good, right? The fact that they had quite obvious needs heading into this that needed to be filled. And I thought with, given the hand they were dealt, they got great players to fill those roles. So that's what it felt like to me, is just a team that knows it's the best team in the NFL and just trying to stay the best team in the NFL for as long as they can. And I think they did just that with this draft.
I was surprised that Bo Stevens was available in the 5th round. Why do you think he was sitting there?
I had him actually in that about range. I think his play strength issues were why I thought he fell to that point in the draft. But obviously, we saw a lot of teams covet Iowa offensive linemen in this NFL draft because they come in so NFL ready. And I think that's why they were willing to move, a future fourth rounder to get him, is that Iowa scheme is outside zone. It is what, the Seahawks love to run. It's something that not a lot of colleges run. And so if you don't see a guy doing it at the collegiate level, it's hard to think he'll translate or be able to pick those up right away. So I think that's why they're willing to move what they had to go get him.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about the rest of the NFC West. Entering into the first round, I was like, oh, God, here we go. The Cardinals are picking at 3. They have a ton of holes in their bad team, but I guess if they're going to add talent, this is where you start. The Rams have 13 overall. They already added McDuffie, and then the 49ers are ahead of you. And then the Rams took a quarterback, and the Cardinals took a running back. I don't know. I kind of left the first round going, I think Seattle, made the move that helps them most this season. Was I wrong?
I don't think you were. I mean, the Rams, I'm looking at their draft, and it's just like they didn't get better. I mean, these guys aren't making an impact on this team. And now, again, I don't often endorse drafting for year one need because a lot of positions, a lot of times, you don't know what you're getting, right? Especially when it's later on in the draft. You don't know necessarily that guy's going to be ready to play right away. So if you have to, you're forcing him to play right away, that's never a good situation to be in. But for the Rams, I'm just looking at the press, it's like there's not even an opportunity for these guys to play. It's like depth pieces at every single spot. So for them, I don't think they got really much closer. The 49ers, to me, had one of it's been off discussed since then, but they did not get great value from these picks. It's not only a tough draft from where I had these guys eval to where they picked them. These guys are all incredibly old. I mean, it's one of the oldest draft classes, 23-year-old, a 25-year-old, a 24-year-old are their first 3 picks. And those are your top 100 picks. You're kind of getting, what more development are you getting from these guys? So I actually like some of their day 3 picks better than their day 2 picks. But that's kind of actually been, the John Lynch era. Their best picks seemingly are all on day 3. So that's kind of just how the 49ers operate. And then the Cardinals, they're just going to be kind of the whipping boy in the West until they get a quarterback, unfortunately. And Carson Beck, he ain't it, in my opinion. Jeremiah Love, awesome, and, it's going to get the fan base excited, but it doesn't change the fortune of a team that still has Jacoby Brissett as their starter.
How many starters do you think the Seahawks drafted? How many of these guys do you think by midseason or sometime during the season will solidify themselves as a starter?
That's a really good question. For sure, Jadarian Price. I think he's incredibly NFL ready. And I think for sure Bud Clark. Outside of that, I do think Bo Stevens, who you highlighted, is probably my next best bet. I don't think Julian Neal is a plug-and-play starter necessarily. Of all the corners in this class, he was one of the guys that I thought could do the Julian Love move from corner to safety at the next level. And maybe that's where they see him in Seattle, because I thought he's, a great zone corner, a great tackler, huge for a corner, but doesn't really have a great man skill set. So I think for sure 2, and then I would bet somewhere down the line this year, probably a 3rd.
So I like your thinking there because, right, with Neal at 6'2", 6'3", 200 pounds, he can go safety. And Bud Clark is small, right? He's 6 foot, 185. Could you see a switch there, like Bud going to corner and Neal going to safety?
Bud can really cover. I wouldn't put it past him, but I think he's been so good at safety, so much ball production. 15 picks, 20 pass breakups in his career, truly special in that regard. He just feels like the one-to-one Kobe Bryant replacement, just such a similar skill set that I think that's where they see him right off the rip.
Sticking with the topic of safety, Mike, we opened the show today talking about whether any positions that have traditionally been not undervalued, but not valued by the market, safety, tight end, interior lineman, running back, are seeing a resurgence in kind of how they're utilized or evolving in a different way that's made that position more valuable. Do you see that happening with safety?
I don't know if I do, because Caleb Downs still won 11th, and that guy can play. So, he's one of the best safety prospects I've ever seen, and he didn't even go top 10. So I don't know if it's necessarily happening with safety, because truthfully, like a lot of teams don't want their safeties involved. You know, they're even taking them out. I think of those positions you mentioned, running back's the one where I could see a true revaluing of it, given how every defense is trying to play from a light box. And when you have a lighter box with guys who are truly dynamic, it just gives them more space to work. You know, they can go create on their own when they have space to play with. So safeties, I'm not so certain because, again, teams don't want them. The teams are trying to lessen their role as much as possible. They don't want them to play the run. They want them to have easier coverage assignments, playing top down, just basically putting caps on everything. So I don't think that position is seeing the resurgence.
What did you think of the Niners taking Stribling high? I saw some people call it a reach. I mean, he's a big receiver downfield, had a couple stops in college. Just your analysis there.
To me, my very first thought was just I don't want to say overvalued, but they drafted him for his run blocking. He might be the best run blocking wideout in this draft class. And, you know, Kyle Shanahan, his offense, it operates a little differently. Like he covers things probably differently than most. And that's what he wanted. You know, no Juwan Jennings anymore. Juwan Jennings was an awesome blocker for that team for years. And so had to fill that role. Now, Stribling is not a guy who gets open the way Juwan Jennings does. He's much more of a speed receiver, much more of a, exploit zones sort of wide receiver, strong hands, but he's not a separator, you know, on like the ins and out routes that you see Juwan Jennings running a bunch. So I thought it was a crazy reach. I don't know a single guy who I respect who had him. You know, they said he knew people who had him as wide receiver 1. I don't even know what people who had him as wide receiver 6, where he came off the board. So he'll be good for San Francisco in that role, in run blocking. He'll be good in that. I don't know if you got a game changer of a actual feature wide receiver.
We, a few days ago, were still talking about, whether the Rams should have taken a receiver or like a Kenyon Sadiq or something, or whether or not they were right to go with Ty Simpson. And I kept pointing to this quote from Dan Orlovsky, who I think is really, really smart, knows more about football than I ever will, but I just happened to kind of take issue with a take. But I want to ask you about it because maybe I'm wrong. He was saying, you know, it's a little short-sighted to draft only for what you think you're going to get in their first year, which is true. And then he said it's rare that a rookie is ever going to swing a team to be a contender that much. Like it's not going to have that much of an impact on a championship team. And while I think overall that can be true, I wondered if it was worth pushing back when you're talking about a team that's already a contender, right? The Cardinals aren't going to become a Super Bowl team by virtue of adding Jeremiah Love. But could the Rams cement a trip to a Super Bowl by virtue of adding a dynamic weapon? I'm just wondering what you made of that debate.
Yeah, so I'm a Packers fan. I'm from Wisconsin, and I know this debate all too well from 2020 when they passed on T. Higgins, drafted Jordan Love, and that next year they were in the NFC Championship game and only really had Devontae Adams, right, on that roster to get open, and they could have used a T. Higgins, who was pretty darn good as a rookie. And Jordan Love sat on the bench, and then you're sitting here 6 years down the line, and you're like, okay, it's probably a pretty good pick, but who knows if they would have had a Lombardi? And Seahawks fans know, yes, it's rare to get impact from your rookie class, but a lot of times the teams that win Super Bowls, they get impact from the rookie class. Like a lot of times, even the team that they played in the Super Bowl, the New England Patriots, Will Campbell was huge for the Patriots all year long. Travion Henderson was huge. Yes, it's rare to get it, but to get you over the edge, sometimes that's what you need. You almost have to go get it. So I do think that there's two sides to the coin. And it's something you have to balance as a GM. It all depends on your evaluation of the quarterback position. If you are that high, you got to have a sky-high grade on Ty Simpson to pass on him, to pass on other guys. Truthfully, the guy I thought they should have drafted was Ruben Bain at that point in time. Already have one of the most dangerous pass rushes in the NFL. Why not add another guy who can just, make your third down packages unstoppable in a way that could get you over the edge too. So that's where I would have gone, but I will not criticize investing in the future at the quarterback position too much with just how valuable that position is.
Mike, I adopt the team every year. I'm a carer like that. I support the Seahawks.
No, just wait until
but
you
then,
hear
but
the
then I
team.
adopted team. Over the years, I've adopted the Baltimore Ravens. I've adopted the Texans. And because of the draft that this team had, I don't think they're going to win the division. I'm adopting the Jets. What do you make of the Jets draft, and what do you think they do next year?
I am enamored with the thought of what this offense could be. I mean, it's just a crazy amount of talent they have offensively. I mean, like, just from a draft capital perspective, their top 3 receivers were all top 52 picks. Their top 2 tight ends, I think, were the exact same. And their running back is as well. So, like, you have the most draft capital of probably any team in the NFL allotted to your skill positions. And it's not as if any of those guys is truly a bust. Like, Adonai Mitchell is a bust, but, like, not because he's not talented. The guy's unbelievably gifted. So there is – this receiving core can flat out get open. They have specialists. They have a guy for, like, every single role. It's just, what Geno Smith are you getting, and do we trust Frank Reich to really play it? Like, if they got Mike McDaniel as their OC, I would be, my expectations for this Jets team would be sky high. I don't know if I feel the same way with Frank Reich, but hey, this staff might be out the door. They might have a top 5 pick next year. They might be staring down, Arch Manning or Dante Moore or some like franchise quarterback, and they could get a real deal head coach if that's the case. And this could be a fun team going forward. So I think the offense is awesome. Defense has a long way to go, even after the David Bailey pick. But this offense could be super exciting next year.
See, Mike, I'm really disappointed in you, actually, because what you were supposed to talk Bump away from doing this, because it's only going to result in pain. As my sister's boyfriend is a New Yorker, and so I hear about the Jets in very different ways. Okay, and I had cautioned him. He said, "I can't wait to go on this journey with them this year." Yeah. And I said, I don't know where that journey's going to go. And I feel like you've made it worse. He's now more excited about this offense.
I am.
What's happening? But you don't have faith in the defense, right, Mike?
I do not. Unfortunately, I think their secondary is pretty awful still. Even though I love D'Angelo Ponce, I thought that pick was sweet. But I think the secondary needs a long way to go. So I don't trust the defense. And again, I don't trust the coaching staff. That's probably the thing that's going to do them in ultimately. But maybe this should be your 2027 team. I'd pick a different one for now. 2027, you might actually be happy with them.
That's good, responsible advice. My last question for you, just a quick one. Is there a team, I know that there's only so much that a rookie class can actually do for you, but is there a team that had such an intriguing draft that for you, you're like, you know what, I might tune in and see a few more games?
It's the Raiders. I mean, the Raiders finally felt like they had adults making some decisions here. They got the best player in this draft. They got the one guy who I think can actually change a franchise in Fernando Mendoza. And then they just added talent to every single position group seemingly on this roster with good value and like sharp decision making. And it really felt like a different era of Raiders football. And then you guys know they got probably a top 5 OC in the NFL. I think Clint Kubiak's a special schemer of talent, and he's got a lot of talent now to do it with. So I think it's a really good pairing of him and Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, such a bummer not to have him here in Seattle, but going to be fun to watch and see what happens there in Vegas. He is CBS Sports Draft Analyst Mike Renner, kind enough to join us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Thanks, Mike. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Mike.
For sure. Thanks so much for having me. Have a good one.
Have a good one. All of our draft pick profiles are powered by Home Comfort Alliance. Taking a look around the NFL coming up in 15. Right now, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra,
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Mariners are opening a series against the Royals tonight on Apple TV+. What's the real headline?
Matt's birthday present will be a text from Wyman asking where the game is.
Yeah. Matt, where you at, dog?
Matt, this
He's
is
producing
crazy.
Wyman and Bob today.
No, he's making
that's
excuses.
Bull. That's bull. He should be here with his family, okay?
He chose
If you
not
want to be
hang out
mad
with
at
us.
anybody, be mad at Salk, because Lefko had to fill in for Salk. And then
Shame on
Matt
Mike Salk.
is having to fill in for Lefko on the afternoon show.
And now we've got Michael. Michael, say hi. He said hi.
Michael's still learning how to work the board.
Hello.
So,
I turned on the wrong mic.
there you go. Don't be nervous, Michael.
It's okay, Michael.
It's okay. We got you.
Michael, just know that we'll probably call you Matt multiple times today.
Yeah, I'm doing
might
a
even
Matt
yell at you.
impersonation today. That's fine.
Thank you so much. Make sure to be really upset that it's your birthday today, because that would be a peak Matt impersonation.
Okay, he's around the corner, so I'll go get notes from him too.
What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, The Athletic reports Russell Wilson is also in advanced talks with CBS about replacing Matt Ryan on their studio crew. What's the real headline?
I would also rather retire than play for the Jets. Your options are this or back up Geno in New York.
You know what? I think Russell would be good on TV.
I do too.
I think he would.
Yeah.
I think, he's going to be prepared. And I think his opinions might be a bit stronger now that he's not the head of an organization or a quarterback. He'd be able to maybe say some things that he normally wouldn't. I think we might see a bit more personality from Russell Wilson rather than this cookie cutter, you know what I'm going to say type of stuff. No, I think he'll be good. And you're not beating up your body, even though you would be a backup quarterback with the Jets, but chances are you're going to see some playing time because we know what happens over there. No, this is good for Russ. If he does not go to New York and play for the Jets or anyone else, I think he'd be good on TV.
I know that there are a lot of people that don't like Russ, and I'm not going to begrudge them for that because I can totally understand. He's not exceptionally personable, had an ego a lot of people didn't like. I get it. But can I say something?
Sure.
I covered Russ started out obviously as a reporter, so I had only ever seen the version of Russ that we all see in press conferences. And one time Jake and I were pre-taping an interview with Russ, so it's not like Russ walked over and joined us. We're live on air, you're in Russ mode. Like, he walked over and we had like 3 or 4 minutes of we're not on air, no mics are on. And obviously he's cool with Jake. That version of Russ that I saw, and I've never forgotten this, I don't know that a ton of people see, he was really sarcastic and was him and Jake were making fun of each other, and I was like, whoa, what is this?
He's a real person.
So I wonder if the media version of Russ, if he leans into that, I think he has it in him. If he leans into that, I think he's way more likable to people than the PR version of Russ.
For sure.
I think you should. How A-Rod became way more likable to people after his career? I think there are just certain guys that people like more when they kind of let one layer of the onion peel away.
About 2.
Even 2. Sometimes 3. Sometimes I take several layers of the onion off because you have the dry outside layer. And then sometimes you have the layer where you're like, people at the store were picking this up.
Exactly.
I think Russ should let 3 or 4 layers
Now it's
down.
3 or 4. You went from 1 to 3 or 4.
There's a lot of layers to onions. A lot of layers. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3. This one was over basically a tip-off. The Knicks dominating the Hawks 140-89. They advanced to the second round of the NBA playoffs. And also, they set an NBA record for the highest halftime lead in a playoff game. They were up 47 at the break. What's the real headline?
All it took was sacrificing the Mets season. It was worth it, I think. You have an incredibly expensive bad Mets team, but you got a Knicks team that just dominated, basically back-to-back-to-back against the Hawks.
Everybody on the Knicks roster scored last night. Everybody played. Everybody scored. I mean, the guy, what's his name? Let's pick a guy. Jose Alvarado.
40 points.
He scored. It was a family affair last night. Here's the thing about the Knicks. It's the basketball mecca of the world. And they ain't won a championship since the 60s, Curtis?
Early 70s, like 73,
Early 70s.
I think, yeah.
Man, I remember 99, they were hot with LJ and Sprewell and Allen Houston going up against the Spurs or whatnot, I believe it was. I don't think they're going to get it done this year, but it feels like the Knicks could be moving in the right direction.
I believe one crazy stat from last night, Jonathan Kuminga for the Hawks set an NBA record for the lowest plus-minus with the fewest minutes played. He played 23 minutes, so basically a quarter and a half, and was a minus 44.
44. Goodness gracious.
He didn't play defense at all last night.
Nah.
I saw so I started watching and then stopped, understandably, tuned back in, just before the half and then after. Am I reading this right that the Knicks got to 100 before the Hawks got to 50.
Yeah.
God.
It was so out of control that Karl Anthony Towns only attempted 4 field goals last night. He didn't even need to play.
They almost called the cops.
Yeah.
It was so out of control that they were almost like, this is a problem. They're beating this team up.
You know what's wild? When the Lakers beat the Celtics in the finals with Kobe, the final score was like 80-something to 70-something. These dudes are putting up 140 points like it's nothing. This looks like an all-star game box score. This is ridiculous. But yeah, go New York, go New York, go. You will not win a championship though. Bars.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Taking a look around the NFL next. Don't go anywhere.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
They needed a cornerback. We talked about that going into the draft. They drafted 3 of them. Bud Clark, he told us, hey, I can play nickel, I can play corner, I can play safety. The same thing with Julian Neal, too. I mean, he's 6'2", 200. As far as giving out a grade, I don't know. What would you say? B+?
If you're going on addressing needs, I'd give him an A.
Yeah.
Now, are these guys all going to pan out? No. I hope those top 3 picks are going to be impact guys.
Only on Seattle Sports.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee.
Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most.
That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family's banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included.
Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi.
Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that.
Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
It's a brave face we put on. We never want to be any trouble. But getting older isn't all smiles and birthday parties. Sometimes it's facing the fact that we are aging. And you know what? That can be pretty hard. If you need a little support or just want to talk to someone, 988 is here for you. It's free and it's confidential. Call 988 anywhere, anytime. A message from the Washington State Department of Health.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Mariners and Royals tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Listen live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. Hey, Bob, you had a hip issue just like me. You went to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. What did he tell you?
You got a torn labrum, you got a frayed ligaments, you've got arthritis developing. He said, this isn't going to fix everything, but it will go a long way. I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff beyond jiu-jitsu.
So, just like me, Dr. Wagner does stem cell on your hip. How you feeling now?
I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now.
So whether it's a shoulder, a hip, a wrist, knee, or elbow, before you choose surgery, see our friend, Dr. Wagner first. He'll tell you if stem cell is right for you. drmarkwagnermd.com. Make an appointment at drmarkwagnermd.com.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's radio to 64,000.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Around the NFL, we're going to start with the number 1 overall pick. Fernando Mendoza was asked about his leadership style in an interview with Raiders.com. And cut number 6, he said he could ditch his cheery demeanor if needed.
Although I've came off as very humble and pretty fuzzy and warm, at the end of my Indiana career, when you have that equity, you're able to be like number 4 and number 12. And if you ask my teammates, that's stuff that I was. I wasn't always a nice guy. I was an a-hole sometimes because I wanted everyone to do their 111th, everyone to do their job, hold everyone to a high standard. However, coming to a new organization, starting from the bottom of the totem pole, I believe that leadership is earned, not given. And there's so many amazing leaders on this team. And I think, especially as a quarterback, the 2 things you need to be a leader is, number 1, you got to play well. Play well, I respect you. That's number 4 and number 12, both Hall of Famers. You got to play well. You got to do your job before you can hold other people accountable. Yeah. And number 2, you got to create equity. You got to create equity, whether it's work ethic, whether it's caring about your teammates, connecting them on a personal level, and then just being one of the guys.
Listen, a lot of people make fun of Fernando Mendoza for being very cheery and very PG and what have you. He made a lot of great points.
It's the realest I've ever heard from him, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the most connected I felt to his words and his tone and demeanor. He even there was an introduction to the organization, and he even dropped an F-bomb.
He said, "I'll curse," and
it seemed real. So I'm like, okay, now we're starting to. It feels like we're getting into the transition to the grown man Mendoza. Not the by golly, geez, I'm just so happy to be here. Like no, and I like the way he respects the hierarchy in an organization and in a locker room. You don't just come in and you're the guy. There are a lot of quarterbacks who come in, they get the C patch on their jersey because they're the quarterbacks and they have to be that. Yeah. Cam Ward got it, CJ Stroud got it. I get it. But there's a process you have to go through to earn the respect, and it sounds like he understands that. I
actually really appreciate, because what he's saying is, hey, for anyone calling for me to be more demanding and be louder and be whatever, you're telling me to do that in an environment where I'm starting over.
Yeah.
Like, if you wanted me to do that at the end of my time at Indiana, I did. You just didn't see it. But, like, I could be that person. I can't be that person right now. I'm starting at 0.
Really?
Yeah. I thought that was actually pretty insightful and really honest. And, look, there's a corny and insincere, and then there's corny and very sincere. And I actually think he's the latter.
That's the realest. Right, well, prove it. That's one time. Keep it rolling. I like your approach so far, Fernando.
I think he's allowed 1 new swear per season. Per Pro Bowl nod, he gets 1 new swear that he's allowed to include. And I don't mean just saying it once. I mean, like, in the lexicon.
What if he plays
he's
like
allowed
20
to add it.
years?
Then he's allowed
Do we know
20
that many?
swears.
Do we know
Then
that
he's-
many swears?
Then I think we start getting creative, because that's a 20-year starter. He can say there's going to be a lot that we're adding. There's going to be new ones we create. Gen Alpha is going to have to get involved. Next up, Kyle Shanahan. We're going to go to cut 7. Kyle Shanahan was a guest on the Rich Eisen show and spoke on his team's criticized draft decisions.
We had 6 picks going in there, and we felt the strength of this draft was really the second round to, the end of the third, and we only had 1 pick there. And so I was really concerned going into it, because I also felt we needed to add more than 6 players. Not necessarily for this year, but also for next year. All the stuff's tied together on how many free agents you lose and things like that. So I was worried if we were going to go get players that we were targeting, we were going to end up using some of our 4th-round picks to come up. And so the way I was looking at it was like, man, we need more than 6 players over these next 2 years, and we might only end up with 4 in this draft. So what was such a success, I thought, was we had 6 picks. We were able to move around a bunch. And at the end of the day, we added 8 players. When I was nervous, we were only going to be able to add 4. So I think we added 8 players who all have a very good chance of making our team. And on top of that, we added a 6th-round pick for next year, which I think is huge because we didn't have one. That's something we'll want next year. And it's all something that you use a lot right before the trade deadline if we need to do that. And just to have that gives us some ammo to improve our team this year if need be.
You know what's interesting? Kyle Shanahan is making great points and about how they wanted to use their draft capital and, most importantly, improve the picks that they were making. The criticism, though, was about specific players. And I think Kyle, I'm only hearing this cut. I didn't listen to the full interview. I don't know how many 49ers fans are upset about the 49ers trading back a few more times than they expected or adding more picks, but it's about, like, adding Stribling, right? Like, it's about the players that they did choose.
Romello. Listen, they have a plan, right? They don't show up to the draft and say, all right, guys, what are we doing? They have a plan, and a lot of people just did not like their plan. But you're right. It's about the Stribling pick. It's the Romello pick. It's about how they went about it. I think people aren't connecting the dots the way that he is and John Lynch are. And they're not going to be able to because you're not in the room with them. You don't know their plan. You don't know how they evaluated Stribling. We just spoke to Mike, and Mike says Stribling's the best blocking receiver in this draft. Maybe they value that more than other teams. So, yeah, it's not – I get the process. I understand where he's coming from. But it's about the players that you did pick and who was available at that time. So we'll see if it works out for him.
Let's go to our next story here, and we're going to go to cut number 8. This is Colts GM Chris Ballard warning people, don't feel sorry for the Colts just because we went winless after Daniel Jones' injury.
Nobody cares about your problems. They're just glad you got them at the end of the day.
Right.
Nobody cares. I mean, in this, they don't. And it's our job to figure it out no matter the circumstances. So, at the end of the day, we didn't get it done. And I'm not going to sit there and use the injuries as an excuse. We didn't get it done.
Which I appreciate. I don't think anyone connected with the team would use injuries as an excuse, though I would bet money that they privately are thinking it. I mean, you trade for Sauce Gardner, and then you lose him and Daniel Jones for the season. Yeah. Cut number 9, he pushed back on those who said that this offseason they overpaid to keep Alec Pierce.
Well, I think a lot of people would have overpaid if we overpaid. So I think others would have overpaid also. No, Alex is excellent. He is excellent, man. You never overpay a good player, Rich. You can't overpay a good player.
I think you can. I don't know that they overpaid Alec. Like, I don't know enough about the market and about his potential and his fit. And look, we've just been yelling from the rafters, hey, it's about what fits for a team. But didn't we also have Ben Solak on before they paid JSN? And we were like, when do you determine whether to give a guy a big contract? And he was like, you pay elite players elite money.
Yeah, what did he get, like $125 million over 5 years or something like that? 6 years? Pierce got something like that.
For 114, 84 guaranteed, 26 million signing bonus.
And had 1,300 yards last year? No, it's about how you value them. Yes, the market's going to tell you, but they don't just pull these numbers out of thin air. They don't just say, okay, this is what we think he's going to be worth. You consult with your money guy. You see what's going on elsewhere across the league, and then you come up with a number. I think people just think that this number just appears. It comes with research. I think someone would have paid him that.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't think they overpaid for him. And then you got to keep your guy. And going back to the first clip, injuries did get you. You were a good football team with Daniel Jones. Would he have continued that run he was on? Who knows? But it was looking pretty dang good. So good for him for not buying into that and saying what you're supposed to say. Nah, don't worry about injuries. And good for him for getting his guy. You want that guy. You pay what you're comfortable with, and you feel like you can still build.
For weeks on end, we talked about the possibility of the NFL playing with replacement refs in 2026. So how about a good report on CBA negotiations? We're going to go to cut 10. This is Adam Schefter, who says it's looking more promising than it did a month ago.
Christine, the tone around these talks has shifted. It has gone from what both sides described as dire in March to now where it seems like there's been some progress, so much so that the NFL has already sent out officiating assignments and crews and whatnot, and they're getting ready for the season. They're hoping that the two sides can bridge their differences as the talks have been ongoing to figure out a resolution to what is held up an agreement between the NFL and the NFL Referees Association, but the tone is markedly different than what we heard a month ago, which does raise the hopes that there can be some settlement here along the way.
Yeah, I would hope so, because I not only am bored of talking about the possibility of replacement refs, it's just objectively bad.
Yeah, you want your best product out there. Like if there was a strike and you had a whole bunch of UFL players playing football, if roles were reversed, right? The players are going to go on strike. The product would just look different. People wouldn't be as engaged in it.
Yeah.
So you want that same thing with the referee. It's a hard job out there to be a referee. Salute those guys. I would never do it. So get those guys out there, and can we just make them full-timers at some point and give them advanced education and make sure that they're staying on top of things? Yeah, we need to do that. Why is it taking so long?
RefU. I love the idea of RefU. What I Need to Know is coming up at 1:30. You can send those questions in 866-979-3776. We're going to see if we can grab Bud Clark after practice. We've got a short window. We're going to have to snag him. So hopefully he joins us next hour. Fingers crossed. Earlier in the show, we asked people about their most hated sports take, just one that they're absolutely sick of. And there's one that someone sent in that not only did I love it so much, but I thought this is so relevant to the Seahawks. We have to get back to this. That's next.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
Tomorrow night at T-Mobile, the Mariners retire Randy's number 51. Live coverage on Seattle sports during the Mariners pregame show beginning at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
What is it, boy? Someone need help? Someone in trouble? Oh, okay. So you just want me to get Progressive Auto Insurance because their collision coverage covers up to $1,000 in vet bills if you're injured in an accident? That's it? Okay, calm down. Let's not resort to name calling.
Progressive's collision coverage helps pay for care for your pet when they're in the car during an accident.
No, you're right. Sorry, I shouldn't have said calm down.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage included with purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Do you need a new roof? Then trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing to get you taken care of this spring. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and secure $500 off your roof replacement. Right now, you can still take advantage of spring pricing and beat the summer rush. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
There's not one car deal that is worth ruining an experience for a customer. That just is really what is instilled.
The Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Saving energy simplified. Snohomish PUD's Rebate Center is your one-stop hub for cash back on energy-efficient upgrades, from heat pump water heaters to all-in-one washer-dryer combos. Whether you're planning a project or already made an upgrade in the last 90 days, the Rebate Center helps you check eligibility, submit receipts, and track your rebate status all in one place. Visit snowpud.com/rebates.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub. Time to celebrate spring and warmer days ahead. Get ready by adding a hot tub, swim spa, or sauna at home to take better care of you and your family. For nearly 50 years, Olympic has been offering products to help people live better. During our Soak Sauna and Swim event, find your perfect wellness solution and save thousands through May 10th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Mariners and Royals tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Listen live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
For those diagnosed with anxiety, depression, or PTSD, Northwest Ketamine Clinics wants you to know there is hope. After only 3 weeks of treatment, 86% of patients report a reduction in symptoms. Northwest Ketamine Clinics was the first ketamine clinic in the Northwest, opened 9 years ago. They now have locations in Seattle, Tacoma, and Bellevue, with more than 50,000 treatments given. Find reviews and video testimonials from real patients on their website, including Brandon.
To anyone thinking about giving it a try, if you have depression, ADHD, bipolar, any of those things feel like they would vastly benefit from it.
Everyone's path to healing is different. Schedule a free consultation today to find out if ketamine therapy is right for you. They have immediate availability, so you can get started this week. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest's most experienced ketamine center. Book a free phone or video consult at nwketamineclinics.com. Healing starts here.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Earlier in the show, it's Friday. We were having some fun, and we were talking about our most hated sports takes, like ones we were just sick of hearing. I was sick of hearing people in general, friends, listener, whoever it is, just people that I know say, not just like, just trade Luis Castillo, but propose trades that are like, how about something I don't want for something I really want from you? I'm like, unrealistic trades were like a pet peeve. You were sick of hearing people say Bronny doesn't deserve to be in the league, or like that Bronny, shouldn't be in the league or whatever. Curtis, what was yours? You were sick and tired. You had a couple.
Yeah, I was sick and tired of all the talking about rookie contracts where it's like,
Yes,
okay, these
yeah.
are going to get done. Like, please stop
Right.
worrying about it.
Yeah. So as part of this conversation, listeners were sending in some of theirs, and they were great. I loved all of them. We didn't even get to reading all of them, but there was one in particular that I held on to that someone sent in because I thought, man, this suddenly is a really interesting conversation, and it feels especially relevant to the Seattle Seahawks. So someone, and shout out to this listener, they texted in the thing they were sick and tired of hearing. They said, I'm sick of people saying that a game manager can never be a franchise quarterback. It's this idea that, like, to have a franchise guy, he must be more, I'm talking top 3, 4, 5 guys, right? Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar. No one would say they're game managers. They're all exceptional in very different ways. Every single one of them is a franchise quarterback. And there's this idea that game manager is just to get you through. It's the bridge. Everything else has to be great. And I thought, I don't even know if I agree with it or not. So I wanted to introduce it so we could talk about it a little bit more because it's certainly where the Seahawks are. Sam Darnold has certainly moments where he's more than that. There's a conversation we could have about how the game manager label is misused. But, like, he kind of falls into this category if you're looking at, are you elite face of the franchise or are you not?
Last 2 Super Bowl champions are game managers. They're not considered the top 5 quarterbacks in the game. Sam Darnold and Jalen Hurts. Nick Foles, manager, he won himself a Super Bowl. I think Tom Brady has game manager attributes, but superstar mentality. Like, physically, if he didn't have the Tom Brady mind on his shoulders, his physical attributes would be one of a game manager. No, you definitely can. I mean, Brock Purdy hasn't won a Super Bowl, but he manages. He's played in one. He's made some runs as well. No, I think you can win with both. You can win with any kind of quarterback if you have the right team that supports who that quarterback is, or if you just have a scheme that just works. You have a defense that's good, an offense that goes, and a special teams. Yeah, no, that's a tired take because that's absolutely not true. I think Sam is a little more than a game manager. I think he manages games, but also think that he has 2 to 3 performances a year where he has to be the guy and he takes over. Same with Jalen Hurts. So, yeah, no, I'm with that. It's all about your team and how you build around it. It's easier to build. You can be weaker in some areas if you do have a top 5 quarterback. But if you don't, then you have to be solid in all phases, and that's what the Seahawks were.
Is that where you think that came from? The idea that, like, a game manager can't be your franchise guy because you have to have so many other things go right, and that's harder to maintain than like you look at the Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, and he's just an easy example, so I'm sorry if people get annoyed, but you had this really cool stat that you'd found about how Patrick Mahomes during his tenure in Kansas City is leading the league, leading Kansas City in rushing yards during that time. Mm-hmm. So they have clearly had roster holes. They have not had a stellar wide receiver room for some time. They have not had the most amazing running back room for some time. And they're usually always very competitive because Patrick Mahomes makes up for it. So, like, I get that angle of it. But is there something else at play here with the idea that, like, let's say someone says Sam Darnold can't be your franchise guy. Why would they say that?
Because it doesn't look like Pat Mahomes. Because you see what the elite quarterback looks like, and you understand that it's probably easier to win with that because they fill holes by yourself. Like, Josh Allen can take off and run that football whenever he wants to. Pat Mahomes can make a crazy throw, and Josh still ain't won one, right? He got a game back-to-back years. A game manager has won one, and an elite quarterback in Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow have still not won. Mm-hmm. So that alone should shut it down. But I think that it's also because the culture of the NFL is that win right now, and it's easier to win right now just with the best quarterback out there, or at least people think it's easier to win right now with the best overall quarterback or a top 5. It allows you to cut some corners a bit. Like here in Seattle, no corners have been cut. You got a quarterback who threw for what? 25, 30 touchdowns, double-digit interceptions, had some game-winning drives, but everyone leaned on each other at some point. Myers kicked, 5 or 6 field goals in the Super Bowl? The defense was a top 5, top 3 defense. The offense at one point was the best passing offense in the game, in it the year, running the heck out of the football. They lean on each other here, and that's a complete team. It's just more appeasing to the eye to have that sexy quarterback, that top 5, because he'll get you out of some trouble.
You know what I think might be at play too is the elite quarterbacks we have now are so exceptional. Like, Troy Aikman was not throwing for 55 touchdowns. Nah. You know what I mean? When Drew Bledsoe was one of the first quarterbacks to, like, very routinely throw over 4,000 yards, that was, like, part of his identity, right? It was like, oh, Drew Bledsoe. Like, or excuse me, not Drew Bledsoe, Drew Brees. Like, quarterbacking, elite tier of quarterbacking today is just unlike anything we've seen, so I get it. Like, there's this idea of, like, you have to be that. And then when you have, frankly, 2 franchise quarterbacks and Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes have accounted for a huge chunk of those Super Bowls, so I totally get it. Absolutely. But, like, if you kind of do, like, a comb back through history, you could argue some of the quarterbacks that we see as franchise guys would be game managers with those same stats in today's league. Now, today's league is not yesteryear's league, so they were doing different things. They were being hit harder, right? Like, they're different skill sets. But, like, I would imagine that there are guys that we could look at as being game manager-esque that had long, successful careers with
Eli Manning won 2 Super Bowls. He's a manager. And he's probably going to sneak into the Hall of Fame. But he leaned on that great defense you have over there. You know, the good old Trent Dilfer conversation. My man was like an assistant manager. He wasn't even a game manager.
He was what we call a lead. He was a shift lead.
Yeah, he's shift lead. That dude leaned on his defense. So, yeah, but I think people are starting to see it. I think we hear that less and less because of the success that we've seen with these so-called game managers.
Are we wrong about undervalued positions in the NFL? That's next.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned it right in there.
Tomorrow night at T-Mobile, the Mariners retire Randy's number 51. Live coverage on Seattle sports during the Mariners pregame show beginning at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Are you interested in investing in real estate in the greater Seattle market, but don't want to manage properties, develop real estate, or sign on debt? Hi, it's Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital, based in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 15 years. We've had 0 investor losses and have averaged double-digit returns since inception. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million in our Legacy family of funds. Legacy Northwest Fund returned over 12% in both 2007 and 2008. Are you looking at diversification opportunities, especially with what's happening in the market this year? Get in touch with us today. Legacy's family of funds has a limited opening for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or LegacyG.com. That's LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investment performance based on average return of LOF1, LOF2, and LSF from 2007 through the date of calculation and after deduction of fees and expenses. Legacy family of funds investments are available to accredited investors only.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. Money is on the line. Always say hello with Quo. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners are back at it today with a series against the Royals. First pitch tonight is at 6:45 p.m., about 5 minutes later than normal. As a reminder, this TV broadcast is on Apple TV, but you can always find the pregame show, play-by-play, and postgame show for every Mariners game right here on Seattle Sports, 7:10 a.m. in the Seattle Sports app.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Look, not every single NFL position is created equally, right? Quarterbacks matter the most. We get it. Kickers and punters, Bump can barely call them football players. He calls them athletes. Important athletes.
They are important.
Not football players. So yeah, not every single position created equally. However, to begin the show, we talked about this really cool cut from Eric DaCosta. I'm not going to replay it, but he was just saying how the way that he and his staff evaluate interior offensive linemen has changed a little bit over time because you have to value pass pro. So if you improve your pass pro with someone in particular, if they're really, really exceptional there, like you kind of add that value based on a quality or a skill or a trait they bring. I just like talking about the way that the recipe of building a Super Bowl team changes. I find that to be most interesting. Anyways, so we had Mike Renner on. We were talking about the draft. And then we asked Mike Renner, hey, Mike, earlier in the show, we were talking about safeties and running backs and tight ends and guards and how these guys are, paid less than other positions. And is that value going to change over time? Are they going to become more important? Let's go to cut 13. This is what Mike told us.
I don't know if I do, because Caleb Downs still went 11th, and that guy can play. So, he's one of the best safety prospects I've ever seen, and he didn't even go top 10. So I don't know if it's necessarily happening with safety, because truthfully, a lot of teams don't want their safeties involved. They're even taking them out. I think of those positions you mentioned, running back's the one where I could see a true revaluing of it, given how every defense is trying to play from a light box. And when you have a lighter box with guys who are truly dynamic, it just gives them more space to work. They can go create on their own when they have space to play with. So safeties, I'm not so certain, because, again, teams don't want them. The teams are trying to lessen their role as much as possible. They don't want them to play the run. They want them to have easier coverage assignments, playing top down, just basically putting caps on everything. So I don't think that position is seeing the resurgence.
Man, just yesterday, you and TCU defensive coordinator Andy Avalos, we were talking about Bud Clark. And you and him were going back and forth talking about using safeties differently. And I know that Mike Renner here is talking about market value, what safeties are getting paid, and what you and Coach Avalos are talking about is how a coordinator wants to use them. But I was immediately wanting to ask you if you agree. We had to finish the interview and move on. But what did you think about that?
I think that's not how the safeties are used here. I think there are some defenses where you do ask your safety to do more. So I think his answer is coming from the teams that he's most connected with, maybe the teams that he's watched the most. And I'm not saying that he's wrong. He could be right. I know the teams that I look at, especially this one here, the safety does a lot. Safety's deep, second level, third level. He's in the box. Safeties be doing a lot over here. So I think that with the success that this defense is having, if they continue to have this type of success, what's the league going to do? They're going to copy. This is what the league does. So Downs being drafted 11 by the Cowboys is a good indicator that a lot of teams aren't safety hungry.
Sure.
I mean, the teams are from Miami, Arizona, the Jets, the Browns had a pick, Tennessee, New Orleans. Maybe they get their safety spots, and maybe they don't ask their safeties to do the same. But here in Seattle, that safety is going to be valued, and he's going to be asked to do a lot.
Can I ask a dumb question? What does Mike mean by saying they're trying to take their safety out of it? They're trying to make it to where they – what does that mean?
They're trying to keep the safety over the top and let them freelance and play the back end instead of being so involved in the run game and being inside the box.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely not what Seattle does.
No. No.
Okay,
safety's in the box.
Why do some teams do it so differently? Is it about if you have way better corners, better pass rush? Why would one team value it in such a different way?
Well, some teams like to stay in a too high umbrella where they have those two safeties up high.
Yeah.
And that's just their philosophy, right? They're gonna maybe you're running a 4-3, you'll bring that extra body, that 4-3, you'll keep them in the box, whereas too high. Or here in Seattle, they have that too high, but then they'll rotate the safety down. It's just personnel stuff too, man. It's Mike McDonald has done things a little differently. He's not going against all the laws of football, but the way that he uses his players and the type of players he uses. But you gotta have a Kobe Bryant type who can come down and play on the second level if you need to. You gotta have a Nick Morwari who can do a little bit of both. Your personnel determines that. So I think that the more players we see who have the capabilities to do that, maybe we'll see defensive coordinators use them that way.
So, what's a way that Mike McDonald uses his safeties that
it's not
other DCs?
It's nothing revolutionary. Really, what's revolutionary is Nick Morwari. You know what I'm saying? He's the one that kind of allows his defense to get false looks or whatnot. But say if Nick Morwari goes on a blitz, right? Bam, you're naturally going to bring your safety down to replace Nick Morwari. So because you got that nickel safety back, whatever you want to call it, Nick Morwari's position, I'm sure they have a special name for him here in the building. That kind of determines what you do with your safeties as well. Because when you send one, you lose one, right? You lose a spot on the field that you can cover. So your safeties usually fill those voids when you start sending those guys.
Okay, let's get to the running back part. Fascinating stuff on safety. I wanted to ask you about it. Mike also said, look, of all these positions we've talked about, whether it's guard, safety, running back, tight end, whatever, I actually wonder if we could see the market changing for running backs, which is crazy because on the one hand, you and I have had an ongoing conversation about how we're not going to be seeing Derrick Henrys again. We're not going to be seeing a guy that's your bell cow that's, toting the rock 16 games, and getting 1,500. You're just not going to see that. You're going to see committees. So then how would running backs get that value back based on how defenses are playing them?
I think running backs get value back just by being multiple. Right? The running backs who get paid the most, for the most part, do multiple things. Right? Like the Chris McCaffrey and the Alvin Kamara's, I think, are going to be more. We're going to see more of those type of players. I think just because of how coordinators are looking for matchups. You start them in the backfield, motion them outside, you get them on a safety, and now you feel like you have a mismatch. That's how they gain more value, is just bringing more to the table. But I also think that the league understands that you're better off not having your guy play 90% of the snaps because you want that longevity. You're trying to save his legs or whatnot. The more you can do, that's always how you add value, especially at the running back spot.
So if those running backs, I agree that becoming multiple is kind of how you become that, top tier contract earner like McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley. But speaking of Barkley, when I heard lighter boxes, I was thinking well, what if that does mean guys that kind of become these power backs or, that what if we do start seeing even more of that?
Well,
because when I heard lighter boxes, I assumed he meant running. This is so dumb, but running into that space as opposed to getting a mismatch.
No, lighter boxes just means you run a 4-3, you got 7 guys, you bring down a safety, that's 8 guys, right? So a light box is
right, not bringing
Saquon Barkley is special though, right? I don't think he doesn't have to be great out the backfield to get that money. Granted, he can't catch a football out the backfield. He's just so dang good with the ball in his hands, and you put together a season to where you almost break the rushing record, you're going to get paid. But how many Saquon Barkleys have we seen? I mean, Derrick Henry's come close to breaking the record, I believe, one year. Chris Johnson, years back, came close to breaking it. Do you have to be that type of special to get that big money at running back? Yeah. So if you're not that type of special, how do you get it? You do everything. You can run routes. You run in between the tackles, outside the tackles. You're good at pass pro. You just got to do a lot more.
Okay, last one. This segment and our next has just become me throwing football questions at you. Between the 4, safety, tight end, running back, I'll say interior guard/center, which do you see as becoming more valuable in today's NFL?
I say tight end.
Oh, we didn't even talk about tight end.
I think tight end. Because just going off of what my reasoning was for how running backs can get more money, by doing more, tight ends can just do more. And they're looking different these days. We got a tight end in Sadiq who ran a 4.3 at 240 pounds. Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous. You got a guy in Brock Bowers who's great. McBride, who's good. Kittle still is on his back 9, but he's still good.
Yeah.
I could see tight ends evolving or getting more money. But the thing is, this is the wave right now. Who knows what this game's going to look like in 5 or 6 years? It's not going to be too different. But if there's a coordinator that comes in and kind of changes the game, we're going to see people kind of hop on that and do what they're doing. Maybe their system doesn't involve that type of tight end. Maybe it highlights a running back. It's just it's waves. It's waves of trends and personnel.
Coming up, Bump's going to talk about how the Seahawks can make history. That's next.
For the best insider analysis,
Bumpus and Wyman, the floor is yours. This is who you wanted.
Yeah, this is the guy I wanted.
Lock in at SeattleSports.com.
The Seattle Seahawks select Jadarian Price.
There it is.
Notre Dame.
The home run picks.
He kind of stood alone. Great player.
And what's next as John Schneider, Mike McDonald, and the Seahawks put together the crew that'll defend the Lombardi Trophy.
They don't draft for need. They draft the best available players.
It's only at SeattleSports.com.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
The Johnsons always talk about an orientation meeting. Their dad and grandpa, they always maintained that It's a people business.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
So, how's your research going?
Surprising! After I figured out the top-rated TVs in our price range, I went shopping for deals.
And who's the best?
It wasn't the internet, and it wasn't the warehouse club.
But?
It was video only. They had better deals on the Samsung, LG, and the Sony TVs that got the highest scores.
Better than online and at the club?
I know! Video only beat them all. And now we can afford an even better model for the same price. My research really paid off.
If we buy it video only.
Exactly. Otherwise, we'll be sorry.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or microwaves, but you will find the best deals on top-rated TVs, soundbars, and monitors. Shop around. Just make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma, Video Only.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE.
Schedule your free Zoom consult today at k2visionrle.com. K2 Vision RLE. No readers, glasses, contacts, or cataracts.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Mariners and Royals tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Listen live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Justin's an avid skier, and a hard fall on the mountain changed everything.
I wound up tearing my meniscus, and then I found out that I also had osteoarthritis.
The pain was relentless.
Initially, it was probably a 7 or 8. but then it just continued and never went away.
It wasn't just pain, it was how he moved.
The biggest issue I had was simply walking. I could not walk without limping.
Others might have looked into surgery, but Justin chose stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. How's it now?
I'm back to skiing as hard as I can, and I don't even notice my knee anymore.
And the recovery?
Well, the biggest thing is I was walking without a limp within weeks, where I had been limping for the last year or so. Now I just feel totally normal. I feel like I can do anything that I ever did.
Before you choose surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. What do you understand but still feel is disrespectful to players trying to make it?
I understand why the NFL would fall in love with a guy who's 6'4", 306 pounds, ran a 4.6 40, 39-inch vert, 10-foot 10-inch broad jump. All those numbers are the best for anyone over 300 pounds. I understand it. That looks great on paper. But it's disrespectful because he's never played a snap of football. Never played a snap of football.
Crazy.
In 1989, Carlton Hazelrig, NCAA champion wrestler, went pro. And he became a Pro Bowler in 1992, offensive lineman. So we've seen it happen before, but only one time, right?
Yeah.
And this guy, Uar Bernard, was drafted in the 7th round by the Eagles, and the numbers were crazy. He's like a specimen. He's like 6% body fat. He's 300-something pounds. It's crazy. And I understand the attraction for that, but it's the 7th round. Pick somebody who's been grinding through college these years. One of these COVID babies who's on year 7 in college football, played for 5 different schools. Like, guys who've been really trying to make a career of this. And it's 7th round, you could just pick him up as an undrafted free agent.
Right.
All right, draft is over. A few picks after that. Let someone else have the moment that, what's his name, Fuller had.
Yeah.
Let somebody have that moment. So, yeah, I get it because the numbers are crazy. And I would be enticed to look at them, too. But congratulations to that young man, not hating on him.
Yeah.
But goodness gracious.
Bump mentioning that call from Seahawks rookie Andre Fuller, clearly very emotional. And we were talking about how much it means for guys that have spent their whole lives playing or, played through college and put in that work. Again, it's not like this guy doesn't deserve is doing some heavy work. Not like he doesn't deserve getting drafted.
Right.
No one deserves or is entitled to being drafted. But I think I'm with you on this one. I totally get it. Second down. What are 2 reasons why you're going to watch the Eagles closely this year?
One, I'll watch the Eagles because of Reek Woolen. He's going to be over there. It's a different environment with these Philly fans, a bit more rough around the edges over there. I wish him luck, but I just want to see how he matures when it comes to his mental. Can he handle not making a play, getting booed, and then going back the next snap and make a play? And also, the Cougs did not have anyone drafted this year, but they did take safety Tucker Large from WSU as an undrafted free agent.
What a name.
He is with the Eagles, and he is a DB, and he was of your delegation, and that makes me even more interested because you got to be a cold you-know-what. And he is. I've watched this guy play, man. He's a tackling machine. Started off at, where was Coach at before we were at? I think, Montana, I want to say. No, not Montana. North Dakota. Yeah, North Dakota. Start off there, follow Coach over to WSU, and putting himself a good season together last year. So I got 2 reasons, man. I got a Coug over there, and then I genuinely want success for Reek. I want to see him be one of the best corners in the game.
And fun fact, Tucker Large, under 6 feet.
There you go.
5'11".
Go get it.
Holding it down. Third down. What does Shilo Sanders still need to learn?
Shilo has a great personality. I think he's fun. I think before the draft, all the coverage with him and his brother last year and his dad, he shined. This dude's funny. But Mary Kay Cabot is a writer in Cleveland. She's been around the game for a long time. She's won many awards for her stuff. And she stated the obvious. They're trying to figure out what's going on in Cleveland as far as quarterback. And Coach Monken says Deshaun Watson has the lead right now when it comes to these these quarterbacks. So she says, I think they should just declare Watson QB1 and let the first team cook. That is so logical. That is what you do. You have a QB room over there that's super young, Watson, who showed at one point he could be a guy, and if he's leading the charge, go ahead and let him be the number one, and then if things move, then things move. And Shilo said a whole bunch of stuff, but he said, man, go make a sandwich. And Shilo, that is slippery slope you're playing with there, brother. One, they will come after you, okay? Two, this lady knows what she's talking about. She didn't say anything that I wouldn't say, that a male reporter wouldn't, someone else. It's just like, I get you're defending your brother. You got love for him. I appreciate that about you, but she did nothing wrong here.
No, you also got to filter through, Shilo. You got to filter through what Mary Kay's actually saying. Now, I don't, I see Mary Kay's reports when the Browns are a team that we're talking about, but like, I don't know if she's said things that have rubbed people the wrong way about Shedeur, or if she's been personally in favor of one quarterback or the other. Isolated from any other context, this report I see as her saying, if the Browns are ready to name Deshaun their starter or feel like he is, just do it now. Don't waste time, because you have so much catching up to do. Like, that's her take. Her take isn't Shedeur shouldn't be the starter. Her take is, hey, I'm hearing that they are leaning towards Deshaun, so just do it.
Yeah.
That's not even a bad take.
Yeah, he's got thousands of more snaps over Shedeur Sanders in the NFL.
All right. Fourth down. How can the Seahawks make history?
So the Hawks signed an undrafted receiver last year, 6'5" receiver, Tyrone Broden. He's making the shift to corner.
That's insane.
6'5". If he suits up at that corner spot during the regular season, he will be the tallest cornerback in NFL history.
What's the tallest?
6'4".
6'4".
Yeah.
And that's his government height?
That's government height. Government. What's cool about this is, one, making the transition. Like, the Hawks giving him an opportunity to diversify, see if he can make this team elsewhere. And I just want to see him move. I've never seen a 6'5" dude backpedal, break out a 45-degree angle, flip the hips, go down for a tackle on the perimeter. I just haven't seen it before. Not saying it can't be done, but you don't think corner at 6'5". There's a reason why they're the smaller guys, because of who they're going up against, snapping the backpedal and do everything backwards. So, yeah, I'm happy for him, though. They obviously think that he can do it, or they wouldn't be making this move. So Hawks can make history if this young man suits up.
Do you know how insane that's going to look?
It's going to look weird.
It's going to look like a tight end.
Yeah, not even, because he's skinnier. He's not even looking at tight end.
Just a outside receiver.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Cool if it works.
Yep.
All right, we're going to be joined by Bud Clark coming up a bit later in the show. Coming up next, What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Get those questions in now.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub. Time to celebrate spring and warmer days ahead. Get ready by adding a hot tub, swim spa, or sauna at home to take better care of you and your family. For nearly 50 years, Olympic has been offering products to help people live better. During our Soak, Sauna, and Swim event, find your perfect wellness solution and save thousands through May 10th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub. This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. we can help.
PenderGasLaw.com.
And everybody is up, pulling for the big unit to do it with his brand, with his K. 1-2 pitch on the way, swing, and a miss, and it's over. And he did it. He put it right on the rump of the old steer and burned her right in there.
Tomorrow night at T-Mobile, the Mariners retire Randy's number 51. Live coverage on Seattle sports during the Mariners pregame show beginning at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
I've always wanted to learn French, but the app I tried didn't help.
If you want to memorize words in another language, there's an app for that. But if you want to really learn another language, there's Babbel. Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different. Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Babbel feels like it was created intentionally by people who really know what you need to learn another language. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Want to really learn another language? Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com to save up to 50%. Babbel.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Mariners and Royals tonight at T-Mobile. 6:40 first pitch, 5:30 pregame. Listen live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. So before I get to questions, while people send them in, I just want to say, you've had a couple people say, oh, Jordan Mailata didn't play, and then he's worked out for the Eagles. A cool take from Four Down Territory was like, hey, the Eagles drafted this guy who had never played football. I completely understand, but quietly, as a guy who did play college football, you want those moments for the guys that were in these programs to get drafted. Even if it's the last pick in the 7th, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think people can disagree. And someone else said it was like Bronny James. I don't know. I don't know the comp with those two.
That text confusing.
I don't quite get that one. I find to disagree with that one. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, he said, you say let someone have their moment in football, but you don't say when it's about Bronny James. I said that Bronny is in the league because of his dad. I didn't say anything about him not having his moment.
Well, and Bronny played.
Yeah, he actually played
college
ball.
So it's with Bronny, it's people thinking like, I don't think he'd be drafted or on the Lakers if his dad wasn't LeBron. But he played college basketball.
Yeah, I'm just
They
saying,
didn't like get LeBron's kid out of the gym.
No, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dude could still get put on the team.
Yeah. Well, and you said I'm kind of holding to opinions here that I recognize are in conflict, where I think it's unfair, but I also totally get it.
But I'm also like, yeah,
it's
300 pounds.
Yeah. Okay. What I need to know, 866-979-3776. Fiddlesticks, says the first listener. Is Fernando Mendoza the new Phillip Rivers?
Yes. Yes, he is.
I think that could be great news for the Raiders.
Yeah. I hope that he has a better career than Phillip Rivers, though. Phillip had a great career. I mean, he's made a lot of money. He's won a lot of ball games, but hasn't been to the big game yet. So, yeah.
What I need to know, G. Scott asked this question this morning, but I need your opinion. When meeting your significant other's parents for the first time, whose parents are more important to impress? The woman's parents or the guys?
It's always a woman's parents.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the woman's parents, but if you're like an only child like me, though, like the women of my family, they were tough on Jim, man. But I think you always want to make sure that the girl side is fine because you're the one supposed to provide and protect, you know what I'm saying? And you're taking her from the home, you know what I mean? So I think it's the woman's. But don't get it twisted. Some of the girls have it tough too.
So in my experience, my mom has been almost easily impressed with my sister and I's boyfriends. I'm not in this relationship, but the last time I think we both loved both sets of parents. Like it was a very easy. I think though that you're right, and that what's most important, I think, is the woman's. What's toughest is exactly that. The only child boys. Mm-hmm. That is the hard. Good luck. Good luck.
I've lived it. It is tough.
Yeah. Oh God, that's tough. But yeah, I think
double whammy.
Girls.
Only child, single mom. Ooh.
That's a hard person to impress because that's their baby.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, my mom is just like, no, okay. Doesn't care about us. Just kidding, I love her. Let's see. 866-979-3776. I had an actual sports thing. Is today the last time this season the Mariners are at or below 500?
No.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah, it's May 1st. You're going to see them probably around 500, I would say, until about the All-Star break. That's just kind of how it always goes.
I fear that this is not, they could be back at 500 with a loss and a win.
Yeah, real quick.
So, no, unfortunately, I don't think so. What I need to know, how bad does a meal need to be messed up for you to actually send it back? I've never sent anything back.
I've sent something back if it's completely not what I ordered, but I've never tasted and be like, oh, this is disgusting, I'm sending it back. I ordered it. You know, I looked at what was in it, and I ordered it. So I have to deal with my decision.
Deal with the consequences. What I need to know, only child edition Bump. Why do us only children get thrown so much shade? Like we got anything to do with how many kids our parents had. Oh, one and done, can't mess with perfection.
No, because, there's a stigma with us. And some of it is true. Like, I could be a selfish person sometimes,
I forget you're an only child regularly.
Most people don't believe I'm only child, but if you're like one of my tight homies, you'll call me out on some stuff.
The vibe you give off is as someone who had younger sibling. You give off oldest sibling vibes, not only child vibes.
Okay. You definitely give off youngest sibling vibes.
Even though she's the oldest.
I'm the oldest.
I know, but you give off youngest.
That's so incredibly rude.
I love it when, even at the age of 40, Bump's only childness will pop out at times. My favorite is the story of him saying he would, what animal was it, Bump, that you would teach to...
a gorilla.
A gorilla. You would teach a gorilla to play with you?
This is one of the funniest things I've ever heard because it was so unintentionally
you were an only
sad.
child.
We were talking about, for what I need to know, someone sent in, would you want to be able to talk to animals, or would you want to be able to like fly? I don't know. And Bump said talk to animals. I said, why talk to animals? That's the worst power. And he said, because I could, if it was like a gorilla or like
I could teach him how to throw a football.
And then you could have had someone to play with. That's the saddest thing I've ever
sounds like
heard.
a PBS animated kid show.
Truly so sad. It was so sad.
That was Michael Jackson and his gorilla Bubbles. Is that his name?
I believe so, yeah.
866-979-3776. What I need to know. In which of the this is interesting. In which of the major leagues is getting traded from one team to the other the hardest to deal with, and in which is it the easiest? I like that question because I don't immediately know the answer.
I think the easiest might be baseball because you don't have to like adapt to a system, you know?
Oh, that's a good one.
Where like in the NBA, the NFL, hockey, you're all running a system.
Okay,
baseball,
so
it's just you.
So then what's the hardest?
Football.
Like if you were a receiver going from one team to another?
Probably football. I mean, like, you know, route trees and languages are going to be the same. But it's probably football when it comes to that, especially at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basketball, I mean, you run a couple screens, you got a couple out-of-bounds plays, you know, but, yeah, I think Curtis is right.
Someone said, I like that makes sense when you tell people you're an only child. Another question for Bump. What I need to know. Do your Lakers, playing Houston, close out this series, or are they going to Game 7? I like the way they phrased this.
I think we're going to Game 7.
That's optimistic.
Really do.
Okay.
No. That's not optimistic.
That's
If
bad.
we win tonight, it's over. We win the series.
Yeah.
Game 7 means we lose tonight.
Yeah.
And I think we're probably going to take that L.
Okay.
LeBron looking 41 the last couple games.
Looking real 41.
Still dropping 25, but looking 41.
I believe in you.
Thank you.
I want this for you.
I'm playing no minutes tonight.
We're going to be
You're
joined
not
by...
gonna check in, Bump?
No, I'm good.
Going to the scorers table?
Joined by Bud Clark in just a moment. What I need to know. I need some advice. Love advice. Okay, I'm in a group. I have to deal with a very disruptive and combative person who sucks the oxygen out of the room. Curtis, did you text this in about me?
No, I did not.
And always argues, either starts an argument or responds to others' comments and turns it into an argument and a fight. What do I do in this situation?
Dang.
I can't leave this group.
Have an adult conversation. Be like, man, you be tripping. Calm down.
Yeah, what's your problem, dog?
Like, do you like us or not?
This is tough.
Just confront it. You know what I kind of... Go ahead,
Is this a work group? Like, how do we do this?
I'm taking it as a work group, friend group. Hi, bud. I wish that we could give you better advice, listener, but I'm going with Bumps. It's just confront them.
Yeah.
Just confront them. But you're joining us when we were in the middle of What I Need to Know, where we answer questions from listeners. We'll get your headset on. Who's this that you're with? Kenzo?
Kenzo.
Hey, Kenzo. How old are you? 3? 3. It's a big age. How's practice today?
Oh, it was pretty good. You know, being able to get back out there, throw the cleats on, throw a jersey on, felt amazing.
How you like the Northwest so far? The little that you have seen.
Honestly, I'm in love with it. To be real with you, I didn't think I'd be out here, but man, it's a blessing to be out here, and it's beautiful out here.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so what's with the Eagles? I watched your draft call because I'm a sucker for those videos. I was talking about it earlier. And I can't remember who said it to you, but they were like, you can get back here and see the Eagles. Were you just like in awe? Were you talking about the Eagles a lot?
I was talking about the Eagles a lot because they had like 5 or 6 of them. That was the most I seen. I was like, God.
Were they out there today?
I didn't. Oh, yeah, 2 of them flew over practice. It was crazy.
No, they get really low.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm from California, so when I first moved out here, the Eagles had me just enamored. I'm just staring at him the whole time. So,
Couldn't stop talking about it.
That's true.
We spoke to your defensive coordinator a couple of days ago, I want to say it was, and he says you're so active during practice. You have that GPS chip that follows you around. Has that always been your game? Are you a high-tempo, high-energy kind of guy?
Oh, very much so. I burn energy all the time. Like, I'm a ball of energy. You know, that's all I do. If I can do it, if I can bring the energy somehow, some way, I try to do it. And that's what I keep doing, you know. So I burn hot every day. I keep moving. I'm yelling. I'm walking, talking noise, congratulating guys, whatever it is, I'm doing it.
So you fit right in there.
Yes, sir.
The talking noise makes sense because he strongly hinted you're really funny and you could shoot the you-know-what. And he said, we were like, okay, so what should we joke with him about? Like, what should we say? Can you guess what he said?
What did he say?
He said, it's Avalos, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He said, he told you he would call you Jadarius until you were 195.
I've been Jadarius for the longest. I went back one day. He was like, Bud, look like you're 200. I was like, yes, sir.
That's what he told us to do.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was watching your film, and it seems like, I think I described you to Stacy, like you have a radar from where the ball is. And it looks like you see the game with a panoramic view. Like you see everything that's going on. Obviously playing in the back end, you got to be able to do that. Use you in blitz as well. What do you think is the strongest part of your game?
You know, playing deep, playing man-to-man, whatever it is. I feel like I can do whatever my team need me to do. I can be the best at it for sure.
By the way, Curtis, we have Curtis is going to play for you. Yeah, our producer. He's going to play for you what Coach Avalos said.
Buddy Bud is one of my favorites that I've ever, gotten a chance to coach. But I told Bud until he got to 195, I was going to call him Jadarius until he got to 195, and then he can become Bud.
Tough look.
Tough
look for our guy.
for the longest. I was like, man.
Okay, so what's the move to put on weight? Is it? I know that like protein, right? You have to
eat.
But is there also like a guilty pleasure food that you gotta partake in?
It's a couple things I shouldn't have, but I trying to gain weight.
Course,
so I try to be healthy as I can, but some things I like to snack on. Dibble and dabble just a little bit.
Dibble and dabble.
Hey, you get my age, ain't no dibble and dabbling. That way gonna hang around for a bit. Hey, you obviously played at TCU, and that's a unique program because obviously you're a power forward, but you're one of the smaller power forwards, and you had an opportunity to play in the college football playoff. Man, what was that atmosphere like?
Absolutely amazing. I feel like when we first came out, it was rocking, very different. Something that we first, it was our first experience, but man, it was a great experience for us. I feel like the guys that played in that game, like me included, I feel like it was a great lesson for us. Just being out there, being able to win, also. So it was pretty great.
Obviously, I would imagine you'd be grateful no matter where you were drafted, right? There's an opportunity to play in the league, and it's very cool. Is there something special though? Yeah. Is there something kind of cool about going to a team where so much of its identity is defense? Like it's kind of core to what Seattle does.
It's been amazing. Like I feel like it fit in perfect for me because I've been watching Richard Sherman. He's sitting out there. I was almost fanboy so quick, but I was like, let me calm down, But I've been watching the Legion of Boom since I was like younger. I always looked up Cam Chancellor. I like all them boys. I loved them. So it was amazing actually being able to be here and try to recreate it. I'm trying to do that for sure.
Yeah.
What's the I know this is your first day out there on the field.
Yeah, first day.
So what's the install like? Is the language so much different from where you're at TCU, or are there some similarities in how you identify and call in a line and all that good stuff?
I feel like with Avalos, he brought in the NFL scheme, so I feel like it ain't too much to adapt to. Just different terminology. That's it.
Have you had a chance to get to know the guys that you came in with?
Oh, yeah, I know a couple guys. Even
nice.
So I brought one of my teammates. He ended up signing to come out here. Devin Deal,
I heard
JD.
you mention that, yeah.
Jadarian, me and him train together. Julian, me and him same agency. So, just getting to know these boys,
Good.
And outside of them, I've been trying to, get to know guys and, just kind of see who they are, see what their why is, and different things like that.
Did any of the veterans reach out?
I talked to Cooper Kupp. That was pretty,
one of those
amazing.
moments.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Kupp.
Yeah, I got drafted or whatever, and he texted me, and I was like,
that's crazy.
Is that who I think it is? I was showing my mom, showing my friends, everybody at the house, like, oh, that's crazy. Yeah. So it was pretty cool, though, especially with the older guys.
Yeah.
What was your draft experience like? Were you at home? You at grandma's, your mom's? Like, what was the whole setup?
I was back at home at my mom's house. I feel like we had everybody, had all our friends, family, my aunties, my fiance, my son, had everybody that was important to me out there. So, it was amazing just being able to be in front of them and get that call. I feel like it was a blessing for me.
Did you feel like you were going to go where you went, and did you feel like Seattle was on you? Like, what were your expectations that day?
So when I talked to my agent, he's like, from different facilities or whatever, just take everything with a grain of salt, pretty much. You don't know who's going to come get you. Might be somebody that you haven't talked to come get you. So when they told me that day, he was coming to get me, I was like, cool. Like, it's all right. But it'll be a blessing to come back out here and look where I'm at, So he kept his word, and I feel like it was amazing.
Nice.
What's your favorite, I'm going to ask for two things. What's your favorite trait you bring as a football player? And what's your favorite trait about yourself where you're like, I'm bringing this to this team?
I'm being a ball hawk. I'm a ball hawk, on the field, but off the field, like even on the field and off the field, I'm very energetic. I'm very, very energetic. If you feel like you're having a bad day, you come talk to your boy. I ain't never down. Even when I am down, I feel like I'm good,
Yeah.
Where'd you meet your fiance?
Back in Louisiana.
Yeah. You guys known each other for a while. Like, give me the whole setup. We like these stories.
I know.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for these stories.
It's a little crazy. So, I was playing basketball at the time, and we were playing a school. We kicked their butt or whatever.
It's high school?
Yeah, high school.
Okay.
So we've been together 6 years.
Wow.
But she texted me on Twitter after the game, and I was showing my boys. I'm like, man. She look a little, I don't know who this is, man. She look a little out of my league, man. So when she, hold up. So when she texted me, I texted her back or whatever, and then ever since then we linked up, and then when we linked, it was, the rest is history.
Yeah.
We got a 3-year-old son, been together 6 years, engaged. So I feel like everything's pretty amazing.
Was the proposal a big thing?
So we were on a beach. We were on a beach. Spread it out. Will you marry me with the roses? Had like a big old what it was. It said "marry me" lit up. Because we did it right when it was coming down the dark. And they took pictures, and when she walked out there, she didn't know what was going on because it was her birthday also. So I did it the day after her birthday.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
You any brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I got a little brother and a little sister. My little brother's 19. My little sister's 15.
Yeah.
16.
Are they athletes too?
Yeah. My sister, she played softball at first, but then she ended up breaking her arm or whatever, and so now she's just doing straight cheer.
Yeah.
And then my brother, he's triple jump.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got some bounce.
Pretty good at triple jump. Yeah.
All right.
Are they as energetic?
Nah, not at all. Yeah, you see.
Wait, so are you the
opposites.
energetic one?
Yeah, I'm very energetic. I'm like my mom,
Yeah.
but they're kind of different.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't like to be touching all that. I'm like, it's all right.
I'm okay with it.
Oh, you say you're from Louisiana?
Yes, sir.
So I have family in New Orleans, and then my dad actually lives in Biloxi, Mississippi, across the way. So I spent some time down there. The culture there is unique. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm from the West. I've lived in Florida. I've been to the East Coast, but Louisiana is something special, man. Yeah. What is it about Louisiana you think that makes it so unique?
We all about our state. I ain't saying everybody ain't, but I know Louisiana people that are very much about their state. You can't talk bad about Louisiana. Our food good, dancing good, culture is amazing. So I feel like, we all down for Louisiana, no matter how bad it gets.
Yep.
We've enjoyed getting to know you, and it was fun talking with Andy about kind of like what you're like, because it's to a T. Exactly what he described, where he was like, Bud just goes.
Before we let him go, one more thing. Have you met Spoon yet?
Spoon, not yet.
Y'all going.
It's going to be a
Chris, I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that. I was like,
you guys, immediately when you were drafted, we were like, this is Devin Witherspoon. They're going to be nonstop. Like, prayers for Julian Love. Thoughts and prayers during this time. Okay, so we're going to stay in segment, but we're going to let you go.
Yep.
You guys have other stuff to take care of today, so we appreciate getting to know you and you joining us a bit here.
Thank y'all so much. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. Do your thing.
Bud, nice meeting you. All right, you guys can keep getting your questions in, and we'll kind of circle back a little bit. Talk about this group. I'm so glad, by the way, that you mentioned Devin Witherspoon.
Yeah.
I was waiting for them to leave, shut the door so I could talk about Bud. We're not getting to your questions. I want to talk about
There's no way. They're like not the same person, but the same energy for sure.
Those two. Those two together.
Imagine both of them making a play on the same ball carrier. The activity after that play is gonna be crazy.
Truly. You know what, Julian Love? Best to you.
Hey. But Julian, he's the calmer, older one. He'll be able to corral the troops.
Yeah. He's too young to be Unk, though.
Nah, he's not. He's just big, bro.
He's not there yet.
Bro.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But some feedback from listeners, 206, awesome interview. Kid seems great. He was really, really polite. I mean, he came in segment, but I guarantee if we weren't on air, he would have been just as polite. Yeah,
I'm most impressed he was able to pull off that interview while holding a 3-year-old.
As someone with toddlers.
He was active, and that's
Kenzo,
cool.
right? That's who.
Yeah.
Kenzo was very chill though. He's very quiet. Lots of high fives, but very quiet.
Yeah. No, that's and players who come in with kids already, they have a certain kind of patience about them. You got to be patient dealing with these kids. So he's experienced a lot already, man. I can't wait to see him out there.
Let's see. I did have some questions about Bud. Bud and Spoon, the Bash Brothers. I think I'm kind of team retiring Bash Brothers as a reusable thing, though. However, I wanted to ask him a little bit more, and we just didn't have the time about kind of his versatility. You did ask Mike Renner about it a little bit, where you were like, hey, the Seahawks have drafted some guys who kind of profile in opposite positions. Do you think they're going to swap? How do you think they might use both Neil and Bud, who kind of have interesting physiques for their positions?
Yeah, because so we talked to Bud's DC, and he even mentioned maybe they move him to corner or whatnot. But as a safety, there's like I was telling him how I think he sees the game in panoramic view, right? He sees everything, and he's comfortable out there. And you have to have that as a safety. As a corner, you're kind of locked into your zone, right? You split the field in quarters, you split it into thirds, you split it into the flat, and your view isn't as wide. And I think that if you're a corner, you're not comfortable with just seeing everything, it could hurt you back there no matter what your size is, even though Neil has the body type of a safety. So it'll be interesting, man. It's deeper than just height and weight, obviously, and they play corner safety for a reason. So we'll see what they do with it, but if they were to stay where they are, it would make sense.
Okay, I've got more Bud/DB related questions. What I need to know, speaking of DBs, will Seattle be looking to add a defensive end in free agency?
Yeah,
adding to the defense.
We talked about it right yesterday. Dante Fowler's out there. Joey Bosa's out there. Not going to happen probably. Hassan Reddick is there. Cam Jordan we talked about. I mean, there are a bunch of 28 to 31-year-old edge guys out there waiting. I would assume that they grab one.
Is Bud Clark a day one starter?
He could be. I mean, here's the thing. He's competing with Tyler Cotta. And Tyler Cotta is going to be where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be, and very responsible football player. I think what Bud has on him is just ability overall.
Yeah.
So if he can pick up the playbook, it's a possibility.
Someone said, I'm not sure they can get enough oxygen in the building for both Bud Clark and Spoon to be here together.
I cannot wait to see that.
That's exactly the energy I love from a defensive backfield.
Yeah.
Like, just Energizer Bunny, go, go, go.
Yeah.
By the way, you know how we got that advice question earlier? They said it's a church group. This disruptive and argumentative person's in it, but I volunteer at the church, so it's kind of a work group too.
Hey, just take it off the church premises when you do it, because when you're when you're on the premises, there's a certain way you have to behave. If you're just taking a walk around the park, like, hey man, straight up, like, come on now.
Sure, you know what?
Come on.
Fair.
Yeah.
So, finishing our interview with Bud, answering some Bud Clark questions, and then circling back to our advice column to end the show. That maybe you just take the conversation out of the church.
Yeah.
In just a casual environment, and just bring it up to them.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yep.
See how it goes. All right. That will do it for us today. Thank you again to all of our guests, Bud, Mike Renner, Shannon, Drayer. Really enjoyed all of our conversations. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
Spring is here, Seattle, and now is the smartest time to replace your roof. Trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing, a local, family-owned company that knows how to roof in Washington weather year-round. Schedule your free estimate today at 3treeroofing.com to take advantage of spring pricing, shorter wait times, and get $500 off your new roof before the summer rush hits. Our experts come to you, build a clear plan, and give you an estimate that same day. No surprises and no high-pressure sales tactics. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Dino was suffering from a rotator cuff tear in his right shoulder.
Part of the pain is like taking off my shirt. I couldn't even really button my pants. I could actually qualify for a shoulder replacement if I wanted to go that route.
He chose to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I heard the commercials for Dr. Wagner. I did my research. I thought about surgery. But the recovery time was so long, I didn't want to have to be in a sling. I want to be able to retire in a few months, get back to bike riding and playing golf without any pain in my shoulder.
Dino knew from experience that stem cell therapy works. Dr. Wagner had already helped him recover from osteoarthritis in his thumb, but he's not done yet.
And now 2 years later, I'm having an issue with my left shoulder, so I've got it scheduled. I'm going to go back to see Dr. Wagner again because it was so successful.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
I really want to have the most amazing customer experience. I want people to be excited.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Are you interested in investing in real estate in the greater Seattle market, but don't want to manage properties, develop real estate, or sign on debt? Hi, it's Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital, based in Bellevue. We've been running local real estate investment funds for over 15 years. We've had 0 investor losses and have averaged double-digit returns since inception. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million in our Legacy family of funds. Legacy Northwest Fund returned over 12% in both 2007 and 2008. Are you looking at diversification opportunities, especially with what's happening in the market this year? Get in touch with us today. Legacy's family of funds has a limited opening for new investors right now.
Call 425-635-4700 or legacyg.com. That's legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investment performance based on average return of LOF1, LOF2, and LSF from 2007 through the date of calculation and after deduction of fees and expenses. Legacy family of funds investments are available to accredited investors only.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from IQ Bar. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at eatiqbar.com/policy/terms of service.
I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ Bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and 0 weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Now you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping when you text radio to 64,000. Text radio to 64,000 to get your 20% off. That's radio to 64,000.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio.